Welcome back to Man Now Sports. As you can see from the thumbnail, the Lakers, Isaiah Thomas, Michael Jordan, the GOAT debate, Mark Jackson, all of that, and then everything you see on the rundown. It's going to be the topic of discussion tonight. It's going to be a good show. We're live. We're going to open the phone lines up. We're going to have some conversations on some of these topics as well. Happy holidays to everybody. Merry Christmas. We got the New Year's coming up, man. So I know a lot of people probably got New Year's resolutions and stuff like that, which I don't do. But if y'all do that, I mean, I wish y'all well with all that. This is gonna be a good show though. Man, it was interesting to hear what Isaiah Thomas had a conversation with Mark Jackson about on the podcast. First and foremost, they did two parts. So I already reacted to the first part, what Isaiah Thomas said, and that had good stuff on it. And then this second part, he kind of went in a little bit deeper on some of the things when it comes to the new era of basketball, the new era of NBA. And him and both Mark Jackson kind of chimed in. And it was very interesting. I'm not playing all of that for you, so you have to go and check out Cameron Mace's YouTube channel. It is what it is. And then find Mark Jackson's podcast and find his interview to catch it. Because some of the things they talked about was the new All-Star format. They were disgusted with that. They talked about how, they talked about so much, man. I mean, even down to the fact that these players in the current NBA have to be very careful because they have to think about the people that are coming behind them, right? So you just can't grab all the money now and then leave a dead league to the guys coming behind you, right? You have to secure the bag plus provide a smooth transition and a way forward for the future, so everyone behind you can secure the bag and actually make it bigger and build it up. Like everything's supposed to be better, right? So, and it don't look like it's like that. And I think you're hearing a lot of former players, especially the old school, coming out and kind of like screaming at the top of their lungs, like we have issues, we need to fix them, we need to solve them. So we're gonna get into all of that. I mean, because they spoke on it, man, and I really appreciate Isaiah for what he said. Let's see who was all in the chat. Taco Mouse is in here, Greg Anderson here. So I got some of my moderators in here. Look like only 2 moderators, but that might be enough. I think we need 2 for every 100 people we get. That's why I feel comfortable. I think 2 people can handle 100. And right now we're just right at 100. I'll wait a little bit to get some more people in here. People probably still get notifications. John Wayne in the house. What's up? Anthony Hernandez in the house. Armand Smith in the house. It's not that serious is in the house. Frankie Fernandez in here. John Beasley is in the house. Appreciate everybody coming in. Trevon Dash, man, it's gonna be a good show, man. Be ready to call in. All right. Really quick though, before we get started, I want to give a shout out to Cali Strong. You see, I'm a lot of times I'm wearing Cali Strong, man. I love the way their t-shirts fit. I love every, what their hats are designed. It's a very dope brand, and they sponsor the show. So I am giving you a shout out, or giving Cali Strong a shout out for the audience, so y'all can be aware of it because they sponsor. But it's not just because they sponsor, it's because I've been wearing Cali Strong for about 4 years before they became a sponsor, right? So an interesting story about how they became a sponsor is the co-owner of the store, or the co-owner of the brand, reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I noticed you wear a lot of our stuff on your channel. We should talk." And that's how that happened, man. So but go to calistrong.com, visit their store, use the promo code ManDownSports, and you'll get a percentage off on your purchases. That's one of our sponsors, and we're also sponsored by Underdog. Underdog Fantasy is the best place to play fantasy sports. I want to tell you about the easiest way to get in on some NBA action with Underdog Fantasy and their pick'em game. Just find your favorite player, or any player for that matter, pick higher or lower on that player's stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in one night. Pick between 2 or 5 players to fill your pick'em entry. Get every pick right, and you can net yourself some serious cash. Use the promo code ManDownSports and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Plus, now that it's football season, you can follow Man Down Sports as we reveal our favorite picks from week to week. Like I said before, pick your favorite player, pick higher or lower, choose your dollar amount, and win some money. It's just that easy. Make picks, win money. We also want to thank Underdog Fantasy for partnering with us, and we want to thank you for helping the channel out by using Man Down Sports on Underdog Fantasy. All right, so don't forget, when you play Underdog Fantasy and you play a parlay, make sure you use Man Down Sports, especially if you're a first-time user of Underdog, and you'll get that discount for sure, and you'll also get a price match. They're going to match half of what your first deposit is, up to $1,000. So make sure you use the promo code ManDownSports over on Underdog. Make sure you use promo code ManDownSports when you visit CaliStrong.com as well. Shout out to the members. Mikey Brad still hanging in tough with us. Anything is everything. That's a new member. I appreciate you for joining 2 times. Neil Howlett, Legion, Shades Cal, John 81101, Savon Arnold, the Joker 687, Zeno Omega, Simply Noob, Malachi Israel, Scott Merriweather, Ashley H. It's Not That Serious, Keith Brazell, Right Hand Cam, Big T, Doc Holly 003, Andrew Williams, James Reed, Demetrius Day, Taco Master, 33 Siggy, Cedric Franklin, E. King, Steve Calver, Unspoken Voices, Taco Master, Ron Walters, WW Shay J, R. Bean, Jeffrey Gaio, Shy Rider, West Sider, 23, Michael Tafoya, Wizman Ballin. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. I think that's everybody, man. I appreciate every member for helping me continue to make content. Y'all make it worth our while. So I appreciate all of that. Now let's get into some of the show. I see some more comments. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Cliff Hill, what's up, big dog? Oh, man. DC Slim in the house. What's up, man? He said ain't no goat. DC Slim, I think that'll be a good conversation, man. Can't wait for you to call in, brother. Should be a very good conversation. All right, so let's get into it. So I'm watching the Mark Jackson podcast on It Is What It Is YouTube channel. That's Cameron Mason's YouTube channel. And they're interviewing Isaiah Thomas, and it's part 2. And they started the conversation based around the All-Star format, the new All-Star format. And Isaiah didn't like it. Mark Jackson didn't like it. And they expressed their feelings on that, right? But they also got into the style of play that we're seeing in the NBA, right? And this is what I'm noticing what's going on with the NBA as it relates to former players, especially the legends, right? Charles Barkley, Shaq, Isaiah Thomas, Mark Jackson, these guys are speaking out. They don't like it. Kobe Bryant had been speaking out about it, right? But it wasn't so prevalent when Kobe Bryant spoke out about it. When he spoke out about it, it was only really James Harden that was really playing that style. And before James Harden, D'Antoni had Steve Nash playing that style, but Steve Nash is not like a natural. He's not like a volume scorer or a volume shooter like a James Harden. So it didn't look as bad because he was running the same offense, but he was really just getting the assist out of it. And then he was only getting 15 to 16 points like a regular point guard should, right? But James Harden took it into overdrive where he was doing the assists that Nash was doing in D'Antoni's offense, but then he was also doing hero ball, just jacking up shots and threes. And it was crazy because their formula is either going to be a 3 or a layup. We don't want nothing else. We don't want a long 2. We don't want a mid range. All we want is a 3 or a layup, even off the pass. Even if my star player, James Harden, drive and the layup is taken away from him because the rotation is there and there's a 7 foot in the paint. We got option number 1. It should be a lob available. So they always have a lob threat playing in this offense with these type of scorers or point guards, or they always have them surrounded around shooters, because if they take away the lob threat, that means someone rotated from off a shooter to stop the lob. And then, it's just simple basketball. We're going to do the same exact thing, Groundhog Day. High screen and roll. I get downhill with a head full of steam. If you don't take away my layup with a rotation 7-footer, because they don't want to deal with the lob, then I get the layup, or I get the runner, or I foul bait you, right? If you do rotate, I look at the lob. If someone comes from off the shooter to stop that lob, then I just throw the ball where the defense came from, and it's a 3. That's all it is. 1, 2, 3, and you do that for 4 quarters, every possession. And people wonder why that's not winning championships. You're doing the same exact thing every single possession. And then when he doesn't have the ball, when James Harden doesn't have the ball, you don't really have offense, because now you just surrounded your team with nothing but shooters, and those typically don't be the type of guys that can get their own shot, right? So I went off on a tangent on that. Let's get back to Isaiah Thomas, right? So what's going on with these legends is 2 things. One, they just witnessed a major attack on their era of basketball, 90s, 80s, 70s, all the way back to the 60s. It don't matter. They just witnessed the new era players, Draymond Green, JJ Redick, all these type of guys, the way that they talk with no respect to the guys that laid the foundation for them. I mean, the way they just disrespect them so easily, right? On the worldwide leader in sports, ESPN. It's not like the, we just got a little podcast and, we just started up. We didn't know it was going to get that big of a reach. We just talking and okay, we said something and they took it and ran with it. Nah, not that. These people are going on ESPN and they're saying this stuff. I mean, how irresponsible of them, right? JJ Redick got chewed out by Michael Cooper, Jerry West, Bob Cousy, like Dominique Wilkins. Like, imagine these type of legends have to come out and spank your butt publicly because you got a potty mouth and you ain't got no respect for your elders, right? So they seen that major attack from players like that. Draymond Green, the way he talked to Cedric Maxwell, Cornbread Maxwell, when the Warriors played Boston in the championship. I mean, he talked like he wasn't the Hall of Famer. Like, he talked like he ain't had no respect for him. Anthony Edwards said no one was skilled except Michael Jordan, right? Then go turn around and say the dumbest thing. Oh, I didn't even watch the era. I ain't, only person he watched was Kevin Durant. So you ain't even go back to the 90s to know who was skilled, but you gonna say no one was skilled but Mike. Like, this stuff is ridiculous. It's coming out of these YN's mouth, right? So that attack, we done with the 90s. That was a whole media frenzy. So now you got the fans involved, dumb fans, because neither were they watching the 90s to know what they talking about. But they're chiming in on it because, hey man, if I see a NBA player saying it, it must be true. If someone's saying it on ESPN, it must be true. So they running with it, right? So the eras before this era under attack by former player or current players and fans. Then they started attacking whoever the best was out of the era, Michael Jordan. And if you attack the best of that era, you take down the whole era. Right? That's basically what they was doing. So now you starting to see people say, I'm not playing the game anymore, because the game for Isaiah Thomas and some of these guys, when they came out and was like, yeah, I entertain this LeBron conversation that LeBron is GOAT and all this stuff. Now you're starting to see people come out and be a little bit more honest. All right, I wasn't going to talk about how this era is watered down, right? When it's obvious, you can watch the game and see how watered down it is. And then the commissioner has admitted it. I watered it down on purpose, right? I took defense out. I legislated defense out, right? This is by his own admittance, right? But people had to pretend like, no, we're not gonna say that. That's what we don't touch. We just pretend like that's not happening, because the game need to move forward, and we can't be bashing the game, right? But now they like, the gloves is off. we go be all the way honest, right? So now you start to hear people like Isaiah Thomas, who used to come out and just trash Michael Jordan and say he was a crybaby. He still say he was a crybaby, but he would say, yeah, LeBron, he does this, and he's more of a team player, and he's the smartest. He started saying all this stuff, trying to make a case for LeBron, and now you turn around and you look and be like, man, I help create this monster. So let me start being a little bit honest, right? Which is what he did. So Mark Jackson asked him about this era, and he spoke about it, and it was very interesting because the way he talked about Mike and the way he talked about Kobe, didn't mention LeBron while he was talking about this. He was using Mike and Kobe as examples to make a point about good basketball. And I was wondering why, if he previously thought that LeBron was the GOAT, how come the example for good basketball wasn't LeBron? If you thought LeBron was previously the GOAT, LeBron wasn't the example that you used. You used the example of Mike and Kobe to make a point about how important the mid-range is, the post-game, a well-rounded game, and all of this stuff. I just thought the GOAT would be a perfect example for that if the GOAT was LeBron, but it wasn't. And the reason why I know he's kind of backpedaling off this LeBron GOAT thing is because earlier in the interview, when he was talking about LeBron, he said he was a great player. He didn't say it was the GOAT, right? I'm gonna play for you what Isaiah Thomas said though.
It's so crazy. I watched the interview just the other day, earlier today. Cameron, who's our guy, we love him. They asked him, what could he average in the league today? He said, today, if I was in my prime, Cameron said he'd average 14 in the league today. Like, what are we doing? Like, that's my guy. But the level of disrespect, like, that's where we're at. But he's not wrong.
No, Cam, if I remember correctly, wasn't he all city, all state?
Yeah, he was a good player, very good player.
Yeah, I mean, he looking at if you can shoot the three and you can make a layup and you can make a free throw, that's what offense is today. You got to be shoot the three, make a layup, maybe make all your free throws. You can miss some. But if you can do those three things, right, you can be in the NBA, because they say you don't need to know how to do the mid-range game. That's just a wasted shot. But then they'll have an argument with you about, well, who's the greatest player ever? Michael Jordan. Who's the greatest player ever? Kobe Bryant. What did they do? They were the greatest mid-range players ever.
Right. Right.
80-90% of the time, they caught the ball below the foul line. They were great mid-post, so forth and so on. But now you'll say, well, who's the greatest player? Well, Jordan, he's the greatest player. Well, you mean I can't take mid-range shot like Jordan? I can't take a mid-range shot like Kobe? Kobe is my idol. Everybody's talking about Kobe now. Love him, my idol and everything else. I can't post up like Kobe. I can't shoot the mid-range like Kobe. I got to go to the three-point line. That's where we are today. It's sad to me.
He's right. It is sad. It is sad, right? It is sad. He's saying you have an era of basketball. First of all, if we looking at anything that that needs an ingredients, right? If I'm preparing anything, it can be a meal, it can be a concoction of anything. If I'm preparing something and I got a list of ingredients that goes in this thing to create whatever it is I'm trying to create, it can be gumbo, it can be pot pie, whatever the case may be. All of those ingredients are important, right, to make that thing, right? When it comes to basketball, if I'm putting together basketball, here are the things that are ingredients that must be in there. Getting to the hole for layups is part of the ingredients of basketball. Posting up is part of the ingredients. A big man part of the ingredients. Guards, part of the ingredient. Passing the ball, dribbling it, mid-range jump shots, free throws, threes, fast break, defense, competition, physical play, right? All of these things are part of basketball. So when I have all of that in a pot, I had that in the 90s. I had that in the early 2000s. And then the NBA just started taking ingredients out. We don't need the post game. We don't need the mid-range game. We don't need physical play. We don't need that much defense, right? And let's add more offense, more threes. Oh, we don't need big men either. We don't need positions. Let's go positionless basketball. They start taking ingredients out. You common sense tells you once you get the recipe just right, this is your mom's recipe. Once it's just right, I pass that down from generation to generation. You don't change the recipe. It's already perfected. It took me years to perfect this recipe. If it's my mom or my grandmother, it took years of perfecting this recipe. And once we get it just right and perfected, yes, that's the family recipe for whatever the case may be. Apple pie, gumbo, pot pie. That is the recipe. This is what we're passing down. You can't go in there and then just say, well, let's take this out and take this out and take this out, take this out, and then put more of this in there. For what? It was already perfect. The NBA had 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and they was trying to tweak and peak things and get everything figured out. And then Magic and Bird came in the 80s. It exploded, and then Michael Jordan came. And now we got the perfect formula. We know what it takes for the NBA to be the NBA. This is the perfect formula. We got a perfect formula now. And they could have just continued to follow it. But then they got too big for their britches and was like, look, we got America on lock. Well, let's go to other countries, right? And we got to change the game a little bit to make the other countries like what they're watching. But then they got even more greedy and was like, well, look, all right, so we got America on lock. We in some other countries because we got European players coming over here to play. So we got some other countries paying attention, right? Let's do another thing. There's another untapped market out there that we haven't got. Let's go get the younger generation who don't even like basketball, or let's go get the other crowd of grown-ups who don't like basketball. How can I get Rihanna at my game? How can I get freaking somebody who never even played basketball to like my game? Right? How can I get a Nick Wright to like basketball? How can I get a football player like Shannon Sharp? Like, how can Shannon Sharp talk about basketball if his whole life he played football and he don't know nothing about basketball? How is he one of the top guys on TV discussing NBA? A football player with shoulders bigger than Jack's, whose schedule is so busy he don't even have time to watch a basketball game. I want you to think about this dude on ESPN in person and then doing his nightcap podcast and then doing his Club Shay Shay podcast on top of the mountains of food he got to eat and working out. He got like, this dude don't have time to sit on no couch and watch games. This dude is getting notes from someone. This is the stats. This is what happened. And that's how he's discussing basketball. And this is a guy who didn't grow up playing basketball, grew up playing football, didn't know nothing about basketball. He come on, like these are the top people discussing NBA, and these are the people. Like, how did we let them in? Right. And now we have this bastardized version of basketball. And now Isaiah Thomas is realizing, man, we screwed up. We screwed up trying to push this new style and push a player like LeBron James to even be discussed in the conversation with Michael Jordan. It's blasphemy. And he knows that. And he knows, man, as much as I hate Michael Jordan, it's time to start telling the truth. Isaiah Thomas is like, it's time to start telling the truth, man. Like, this is freaking ridiculous, right? LeBron James has never been in this discussion. He's never been as good as Mike. He's never been as good as Kobe. The names that Isaiah Thomas was mentioning, how can the greatest of all time and the second best player we've ever seen. I'm not saying Kobe is second on the GOAT list. I think Kareem is. I have Kobe number 3, right? But as far as the best players I ever seen play the game, Michael Jordan's 1, Kobe's number 2, right? Those are the 2 best players I ever seen play basketball on a professional level. So how can the 2 most complete players that we've seen play make a living in the mid-range and in the post? And those are the 2 things that we've taken out of the game and said that's not good enough. Moving forward, the post and the mid-range is the part of the game we want to take out. But it was good enough to make the 2 best players we ever seen. Make that make sense. Like, somebody make that make sense. If the 2 greatest players we ever seen, or the 2 best players we ever seen, I'm not gonna say Kobe's I'm not gonna say he's the second greatest, because greatest means who's the better player plus what they achieve as far as greatness, and you put those 2 together and you create a list. But if I'm just saying the best players, Kobe's number 2. So Mike and Kobe are the 2 best players I ever seen, but what made them the best isn't good enough for the game anymore. Somebody make that make sense. The post game and the mid-range is not good enough for the new NBA, but it's good enough for the GOAT and GOAT Junior. Make that make sense. And the most weakest parts of the game that LeBron has is the mid-range and the post game. Go figure. His weakest parts of his game is post-ups and mid-range pull-ups, mid-range anything. And that's the part that they took out of the new NBA, but that's the part that actually made Mike and Kobe the best players we've ever seen. You can't make this stuff up, man. You can't make it stuff up, right? So have Jordan ever spoke about shooting threes and mid-range? Of course he did. On a couple of occasions. And he said the same thing every time. He said that he don't want to take away from his game. If he started relying on threes and he started shooting threes, he would think that'd take him out of attack mode. Because when you're shooting threes constantly, that's not really attack mode for 95% of players. For someone like Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, Steph Curry, the 3-point shot is probably attack mode for them. You're attacking the team when Reggie Miller is running full speed off these screens and off double screens, and he's coming off because when he catch and shoot, if you ain't already there, you're not gonna be able to bother his shot, and he's already a professional at catching shoots, right? Coming off of a full speed sprint, catch and shoot. Steph, Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, both. I'm saying not both, but all 3, great at that, right? So yeah, they're in attack mode when they're doing that. But for the most part, players like MJ, they're in attack mode when they're getting to the paint, right? Or trying to get to the paint. And what made the mid-range game so beautiful for Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant is because when they're trying to get to the paint, if you're able to stay with them and stay in front of them, now I can stop on a dime and rise up and pull up for a mid-range jump shot. And my mid-range jump shot is just as good as my layups or my dunks. So good luck with that as well, right? So I'm still in attack mode. I still attack the gap. I still tried to get to the hole. I probably got 1 foot in the paint before I pulled up, right? That's attack mode. But if your mindset is get up as many threes as possible, my team got a number in mind. When we get up 53s, that's what the analytics is saying. If we get up 53s, we win 65% of the time. So the game plan for most teams is let's get up as many threes as possible. It's hard to be in attack mode like that. And then you got 3-point or people that's not 3-point shooters thinking about shooting threes as much as Steph, Clay, Ray, or Reggie. And they shouldn't be. It's bad basketball. And they have abandoned the post. It's so bad that Golden State don't even play post players no more. Like they shipped Jonathan Wiseman out of Golden State because he wanted to post up. That's like, nah, we don't do that here. We'll keep Kevon Looney and we'll draft another rookie and Jackson Davis who will get with the program. And Jackson Davis is not as good as Wiseman, in my opinion. But they'll let Wiseman go because he wanna live his best life on the basketball and get better. And Steve Kerr, and the way his system operates is, no one can really get better in this system. We just want Steph to percolate, and the 3-point shooters to percolate, and Draymond Green to dictate and orchestrate everything. Everybody else, you're setting screens, you're playing defense, you're rebounding. They got Kuminga and Andrew Wiggins playing power forward, and Draymond Green playing center. And then now you got Sacramento, who just fired Mike Brown, trying to do the same thing. They got Sabonis playing center and Keegan Murray playing power forward. And then they running around there with 3 guards, DeMar DeRozan, Fox, and number 23, I forgot his name. And then they'll come off the bench with Monk. And then they come off the bench with Herter. I'm like, they just throwing guards out there with one small forward who is actually playing the center position or the power forward position. It is unreal that they think this is basketball. Like, you can't, like I said, you can't take ingredients out of basketball and then still call it basketball, right? Yeah, Greg Anderson Ellis, right? All right, so what did Michael Jordan say about because he had a game where he put up 10 threes, which was unusual for him, and he hit a bunch of them, and they was wondering, like, if you could hit threes like that, then why aren't you shooting more of them, right? And this was his response.
Wednesday night in game 1, Michael Jordan put on a 3-point shooting exhibition and a stunning performance, but taking too many threes can hurt his overall performance, according to Michael.
My 3-point shooting is something that I don't want to excel at because it takes away from all phases of my game. My game is a fake drive to the hole, penetrate, dish off, dunk, or whatever. And when you have that mentality, as I found out in the first game, of making threes, you don't go to the hole as much. You go to the 3-point line and you start sitting there waiting for someone to find you. And that's not my mentality. And I don't want to create that because it takes away from my other parts of my game.
He said, I don't want to be the person standing at the 3-point line waiting for a driving kick so I can put a 3 up and I'm letting the defense off the hook. If you have an athlete who can jump over a daggone tree and dunk on you, or who can drive and one dribble pull up from mid-range, or get all the way to the hole, lay up, dunk, whatever the case may be, or get all the way to the hole and draw the defense in, and now he can kick out to a open player, I'm letting them off the hook if I have an athlete like Michael Jordan shooting 10 threes a game. If I'm letting an athlete like Anthony Edwards shoot 10 threes a game, if I'm letting an athlete like Giannis shoot 10 threes a game, when he can be getting downhill, putting pressure on the defense got to rotate. The man that's guarding me has to make a decision. Do he want to foul me or give me the layup or give me an and one? Eventually, it's 4 quarters. So if I'm getting to the rim enough, someone's going to get 2, 3, 4 fouls. Then that's going to change the way you defend me because now you don't want to foul out. I'm letting you off the hook if I continue to just shoot threes. And he's saying that that's how his mentality was. That's how he think. All right. People just got an issue. They just don't understand. That's simple basketball. I don't understand how coaches have bought into this analytical BS. Right. I just don't see how that happened. Right. So that was Isaiah Thomas. I'm gonna open the phone lines up because I want to hear what y'all think. But that was Isaiah Thomas saying, "Look, man, I'm not with the shenanigans no more, man. It was fun to poke fun at Jordan and try to piss him off by saying LeBron is the GOAT and all that stuff, man. But you really can't put it this way. This generation, or if we was to compare generations." Right. If we was to compare generations and we say, man, which generation is the best generation? Right. Which era of life, just outside of basketball, just in life in America, which generation is the best generation? Right. All right. And you got one generation who had all of this stuff at their disposal. They got all this technology, internet, phones, just smart cars, electric cars. You got all of this at your disposal, but it's the generation that actually destroyed mankind. Like it's the generation where everything died. The dollar died, right? Healthcare died. Like if you just start naming all these things that just fell by the wayside. I mean, like this generation might lose Social Security for old folk. This generation got so many cancers and so many diseases. It's ridiculous because we're eating the food ain't even real no more. Food died in this generation. Like this is crazy. Like food died, healthcare died. Like we allowed someone to get in the White House that like seriously, like, just think about that. How can this be the best generation if everything is dying during this generation? And when you take that to the NBA, this is the NBA where everything died. The All-Star game is dead. The post game is dead. The big man gone. The mid-range gone. The Olympics, the gap we had over other countries, gone. They saying it's easier to score in the NBA than it is overseas. This is what Giannis, Jokic, and Luka said. Oh, it's easier to score over here. All of that died. Defense died, gone. Coaching gone. So how can the NBA be considered the best era of NBA if all of those things died during their era? You got a 40-year-old dude that's in the top 10 of players and top 10 in MVP votes. How is that possible? How a 25-year-old can't outrun a 40-year-old and run him off the court and send him into retirement? All of that stuff died. The NBA might die on it in this generation. It might be another league that stand up and take over because this ain't it. So if all of those things died in this era, we can easily say that this is probably the worst era of NBA, probably the weakest era of NBA. And if it's the weakest era, how can anything come out of it as the best? How can the best team, best coach, best player, best commissioner, how can the best anything come out of this era when it's the worst and weakest era? How can the strongest anything come out of the weakest era? It can't. That's common sense. Chris, what's up, big dog?
What's going on, man?
What's popping, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, good. What's your thoughts?
Man, there's so many things I want to touch on, man. You said food died. Food died is crazy work, my boy.
but did it not though?
It did.
The food biting us back. I mean, like, come on, man. We got so much. Like, it's fake food, bro. It's fake food.
Yeah.
You see what a peach look like now? First of all, I ain't had a soft peach since the 90s. All the peaches I get are hard like apples.
Yeah. You are. Love died. Everything died.
marriage died in this era too.
Yeah, it's over with, dog. It's over. And man, you read my mind with that Michael Jordan clip, man. I had just seen that today, man. When Jordan, it's like Jordan saw this coming. He was ahead of his time with that.
Of course.
That 3-point thing.
Yeah.
He knew it would kill the game. And that's basically what he was saying.
Yep.
Jordan could shoot. I don't know why they look at his percentage and they say, okay, Jordan couldn't shoot threes. That's not the case.
Right.
Even though Jordan grew up in the era where, they weren't shooting like that. No, the 3-point didn't exist in his time. But of course, he added it to his game because he was so hungry to get better. Of course, he added a 3-point shot to his game. But he just didn't want to take threes because he knew it would kill. He just knew it would kill the game.
Correct. And the way the game is supposed to be played too. Like the game is you're supposed to get to the paint. Like that's when you're scanning everything, the best shot you can get is something at the rim, something in the paint, right? So that's the number one option. Once you're in pursuit of trying to get that easy shot, whether you throw it in the post and you're already close, because you got a capable scorer in the post with his back to the basket. Right now, I'm very close to the rim for an easy shot. The double team might have to come, and then off that double team, I can get a good shot, whether it's a slash to the paint, a 3-point shot, mid range, whatever the case may be. That's what starts everything. If I don't start it by getting the ball close to the rim with the post up, I can start it by getting the ball close to the rim with a dribble penetration drive. Right. And that starts everything. What they're doing now is they're just standing everybody around the 3-point line, all 5 guys, and all they're doing is setting screens and just trying to get a 3-point shot. That's all. They're just trying to get. They're not even trying to get to the paint. And then Adam Silver and I ain't even gonna say David Stern name, rest in peace, but Adam Silver, bright idea. Let's make a defensive 3 in the key. That way there can be no big man in the paint. So it can be wide open and it can just be a race to the rim. Why would you want to make defense harder for shot blockers so little guys can get easier layups? I just like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Insane. What's the other thing you want to talk on?
Why do you think, even when it comes to overseas players, they're just not like the old overseas players? We had Yao Ming, AK-47, Andre Karolinko, one of the best defenders of all time. People don't talk about him. Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, like those guys. Pekovic. Remember Pekovic? He played for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, well, he played for the Nets. Pekovic.
Pekovic,
the big man.
Yeah.
I remember him.
He was one of the strongest dudes ever in the league.
Yeah, I remember him.
We don't see players like that no more, man.
They on the bench somewhere. You notice how you notice how a good big man in his prime can't even get in the game. When the last time you seen Andre Drummond as a starter? They created a game where Dwight Howard.
He's still in the league?
Yes, he played. He backs up Embiid in Philly.
Damn, I thought he was out.
No, he backs up Embiid in Philly. Don't have a place in his league. Dwight Howard said that his agent was trying to get him back in the league 3 or 4 years ago, and he had a workout with Golden State. And he told him that Golden State told his agent, we're looking for a big man that can shoot threes. So Dwight Howard, who was the best big man in the league for about 6 straight years in Orlando,
6-7 years,
doesn't have a place
in the league. He burnt this bridge, man. He was too playful, man. They didn't like him, man. None of the players liked him.
Every big man liked him.
Nah,
DeMarcus Cousins, Dwight Howard, Andre Drummond. It don't matter who. JaVale McGee don't have a place in this league. They're phasing the big man out. And it's their game. It's really a big man's game. Like, it's a 10-foot rim, and you got a big man that's 7 foot. He's the closest person to the rim. This is supposed to be his game. Like, I fear that Shaq don't have a place in this league.
It depends. If you're saying young Shaq when he was running up and down the floor with the ball, that Shaq.
I'm talking about big Shaq. I'm talking about big Shaq that can't guard the pick and roll that got exposed by Detroit Pistons.
Yeah. He'll be a Rudy Gobert.
I gotta fear that Shaq would get no post ups in this league.
No. He'll be Rudy Gobert.
That's crazy.
The dude he don't like.
Insane.
He'll be Rudy Gobert.
That's insane. Yep.
And hey, man, last week I had to cook another one of your dudes in the chat, man. Stop with the Nikola Jokic hate, man. Stop it, dude.
What is that? What is Nikola Jokic hate? I don't understand what that is. What is that?
I think you said something crazy, man. You tried to compare Joel Embiid to Jokic. Let's get this understood. Jokic is 100 times better than Joel Embiid. I don't care what nobody says.
100 times? That's interesting.
Jokic is going to give me 80 fucking games a year. He's going to give me, you can say what you want about him being fat and out of shape, but that guy obviously is not out of shape if he's giving me fucking 80 games a year.
Well, so let me ask you a question.
He's playing in the playoffs.
But let me ask you a question.
He's giving me better numbers.
Let me ask you a question. If I'm playing 50% of the game and I'm resting on the other 50%, like, because he's not playing defense. So those 80 games you just talked about is really 40 because he only playing half the game. He only playing half the game, 50% of the game. He ain't playing
running up and down. Stop it, man.
Have you seen Joel Embiid give his body up for a block shot? Like he's jumping and landing, like he's really going out for a block shot. I've seen Joel Embiid hurting himself blocking shots. Have you seen it? I'm curious. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Yeah, you seen it. Have you seen Jokic do that? What have Jokic given his body up on defense for?
He's not gonna give his body up. He's not gonna
give it. Did you see him give up a game winner against Portland? Russell Westbrook got took to the hole by Simons. And
Westbrook is a blow by.
Okay, he blew by Westbrook, but the rotation was a 7-foot center named Jokic. He rotated over in time to get over there and block the shot. Do you know what Jokic did? Ask me, did he jump and try to block the shot?
He didn't jump. He just put his hand up.
He didn't put his hands up either, shit, mate. You know what Jokic did? He did a jab and retreat. That's something you do in the first quarter on a 3-on-1 fast break where you want to trick someone. You jab and you retreat back. And then, because what you want to do, okay, it's a 2-on-1. I can't stop two people. So let me trick the ball handler. Let me jab at him and then retreat back. Hopefully, when I jab, his knee-jerk reaction that he'll pass it. So let me jab and then jump in the passing lane. That's called jab and retreat. You do that in the first, second, third quarter on the 2-on-1. You don't do that for a game winner and give up a layup. You don't jab and retreat on a layup. There was nobody even behind him to retreat to. He jabbed and retreated on a game winner.
He pulled a LeBron James.
Oh man, he made a business decision like it was a fumble and he didn't want to jump on it. You jabbed and retreated on a game-winning layup. Somebody just got a finger. Somebody fillet. He might as well did the Karl Malone. Like he didn't even need the other hand. He just fillet. You know, man, and just put it up there. Man, he could have picked which hand he wanted to. It was an option. He didn't have to throw no runner. He didn't have to get it over Jokic. It wasn't no hard foul. A jab and retreat, and that's your 7-foot rim protector. It's supposed to be your last line of defense. And you talking about he better than Joel Embiid by 100 times?
Yes, by a fucking mile.
Man.
Because that Jokic is going to give me 80 games a year.
40. He's not playing defense.
Listen to me.
All right, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
His production is going to increase in the playoffs.
His production increased in the playoffs 1 year.
Jokic any day.
His production increased in the playoffs 1 year.
Embiid is a fucking loser, dude.
I think
he got paid. He got his money.
This is what you're doing, Chris. You're frustrated with Embiid. You're frustrated with Embiid. So you going in and I get it. I can hear it in your voice. You're frustrated. You're tired of Jokic or you're tired of Embiid having the same excuses every playoff.
It's the same shit.
I get it.
He played 40 games.
I'm frustrated too.
Listen. This is what he do. He plays 40 games, 50 games. He hurt. He comes back in the playoffs hurt. He loses in the first round or the second round if lucky. And then everybody says, if only we had a healthy Joel Embiid. Man, he do the same shit every year, man. The shit is annoying, bro. It's annoying.
All right. The only you gotta teach me how to pronounce that last name because I don't want to butcher it. But let me get another phone call in here, Chris. You can stay on real quick. Hold on. All right, so I got 3 callers on. As soon as it merges, I'm gonna get you right after this, Alabama. Hold on. All right, so let me see who I got on here. DC Slim, good. What's up, man? What's your thoughts? I thought I had DC Slim on here. Hello, DC Slim. All right, let me clear the lines. I had to clear the lines, y'all. I tried to merge some people in there. Ah, shoot. Phone calls coming in.
What's the science, baby? Am I crazy, man?
Go ahead, man. You got 30 seconds because I got a lot of people I got to try to get in here. Go ahead with your thoughts.
All right, y'all tripping about Shaq, man. First of all, Jokic and ain't no centers in the league. The two of them, man. It's Jokic and Embiid. Embiid is way better than Jokic. Watch him play one-on-one against Jason Tatum and tell me Jokic can do anything like that. Embiid is basically a 7-foot guard, basically. Jokic can't guard nobody at all. Like what is dude talking about, man? If he played against Shaq back in the 2001, he looked like Muggsy fucking Bogues, man. He's just the biggest dude out there, man. That's all it is. Because there's a bunch of little niggas in the league. They little as hell. They talk as a baby dad. Period, man. So, cause the only reason why he been talking, because that dude, whoever's on the line, he must be on his period. He must be a bull. Man, I don't even want to go there, fam. Stop talking about Shaq like that, fam. Because all that he can't move around and he can't guard outside. Who the hell is guarding outside? Shaq gonna control a damn paint like a big man supposed to. And these niggas don't know how to do it. That's why they can't do it. That's why they always in the damn the 3-point line. Chucking up shots. They shoot 53s a damn game and I can't even watch basketball no more. What the hell? So what is y'all talking about, man? Shaq gonna dominate the paint. 3, 4, 5 niggas. The whole outside gonna be wide open because he gonna be killing them niggas. Any questions?
No, sir. I don't disagree with you at all, and especially in this era, if Shaq was to be dropped in this era, and he didn't play for a coach that believed in this analytic stuff and believed that he was obsolete, and if Shaq was dropped in this era, he would have to be dropped in this era with an old school coach with him, because these new coaches are being taught this new way of playing. They're seriously being taught that. And those are the only coaches that are getting hired. The only coaches that are getting hired are the ones who are with the analytics and with the 3-point shooting and all of this stuff, man. And I'm starting to think that Adam Silver enjoys that game better. I'm starting to think Adam Silver wants that. I'm starting to think that he's rewarding it, right? Because
when did the zone come into the league?
Say again?
When did the zone come into the league?
No, I don't know.
Like 2000 something, like early 2000.
That sound about right.
Okay, so if Shaq played in a town where you can play damn zone, he ain't got to go out there and look like Rudy Gobert. He ain't gonna look like him anyway. He gonna guard the paint, and little niggas gonna guard the 3-point line. Period. And when you come in there, he snatches the little ass.
He got to come out of the paint though. He got to come out of the paint with the
he ain't got to come out of the paint. What do you got to come out of the paint for? We playing zone, baby. We playing 3-2 or 2-1-2.
Defensive 3 and a key came in probably toward the end of Shaq's career. I'm saying if he was dropped in this league right now, he would have to be outside of the paint because of the.
Why would he have to be outside of the paint, sir?
Defensive 3 and a key.
You said what?
Defensive 3 and a key.
Defensive 3 and a key.
Yeah, you can't on defense. They implemented defensive 3 and a key for defenders. You can't stand in the paint more than 3 seconds. Or you have
I'm saying is he gonna be dangling around inside the paint to the little corners on the outside. He not going out there and guard no guard. Hell no.
Hold on. We already have an example of him being forced to go out there, because remember when he played Detroit in that final series, you had shooters like Mamano Kerr coming off the bench. You had Rasheed Wallace, who was a shooter as well. And when Shaq got matched up on them, he was coming up on them high screening rolls with Chauncey Billups, and Shaq had to guard them.
And who was the coach, sir? Larry Brown, correct?
Larry Brown was, yes, sir.
Okay, that dumbass motherfucker. He the same one that hated on Iverson. Fuck him. I'm telling you what a real coach gonna do. He gonna guard the damn paint and guard the paint. That's it. And on offense, he gonna smash your ass.
It didn't work, brother.
He gonna make you down the hell out of him.
It didn't work. It didn't work. But look, I'm not agreeing with you. Shaq would kill it in like any big man that posted up in the 90s would kill in this era, right? So I'm with you.
Exactly. Shaq would be the best player, hands down. And you can be the Orlando Shaq or the LA Shaq. Any
all-star from the 90s, any all-star from the 90s would be the best player in this world.
Put Rick Smith in this motherfucker. He gonna kill him.
Rick Smith would
get out of here, man. These niggas wicked hell, man.
Rick Smith would be better than Jokic in this. No, seriously. Rick Smith would be better than Jokic in this era.
Till a don't know shit, till a dick up. Whichever one you want to fuck.
All right.
Period,
all right,
nigga.
Brother. Thanks for the call.
They on their period, nigga.
Thanks for the call. All right, DC Slam, what's up? All right, DC Slim, what's up, big dog?
Yeah.
DC Slim, what's good?
Hey, what do you do, man?
What's good, man? What's your thoughts?
Hey, man, look, first of all, before I break this down to y'all and just like ruin everybody's world, right? The reason why the NBA trash is because there's too many opinions and crossing over earth. Man, we ain't never gonna see Shaq play Jokic. We ain't never gonna see none of that. All right. So everybody's spoiled, man. We got an inflation on information, man. Everybody just sitting around and coming up with goofy scenarios, and you just won't appreciate what you got. You know what I'm saying? But let's do this. Jordan is not the GOAT. I'm tired of people doing this with this selective amnesia, okay, trying to make it look like Jordan the GOAT. Now watch me do this real quick for you. It's 3 reasons. 1, he has never beaten a giant in his prime. Number 2, a narrative was created for Michael Jordan back in the day. Number 3, what is the true meaning of a GOAT? If you're going to tell me that Michael Jordan is the GOAT, he's 0-2 against Bird, 1-3 against Isaiah, and only 1-0 against the Lakers. He beat the Lakers. Magic retired the next year with HIV. 3 players on the Lakers was hurt. Pippen was guarding, Magic. All I hear every day is just about his 6 championships. Dog, he played in one of the worst eras in NBA history. I don't know why people scared to admit that, dog. I've been around to watch. Watch what I'm about to say here. LeBron James and Michael Jordan are one and the same. Back when Mike was playing, he was getting the same LeBron treatment. You couldn't touch him. He was getting all of the calls. He was on TV making them goofy statements just like you heard. But Nike and them commercials brainwashed everybody. Bro, listen. Hey, Mel, tell me if anybody can prove me wrong on this, right? We can make a cash out bet. Bro, the teams he played against in 6 years, look, it was 8 expansion teams came in the league that year. He beat up on the Hornets, who was 140 and 270 in 5 years. See, what I'm saying is everybody like to come on these shows and just blurt out, Jordan is this, Jordan is that. Man, there's a lot of us who watch Jordan. I'm a Laker fan. I will never say out of my mouth that Jordan is the greatest when he lost before he got Pippen. He was the actual originator of the super team. He had the best Australian player. He had cool coach. His teams was the best teams back then. So the same, and I don't even like LeBron. So the same reason why somebody would get mad at LeBron for all of this favoritism and super teams, you got to hold that same thing to Mike. Don't just give this man no credit because he got the sweet shoes and the commercial tricked you. He is a great, outstanding scorer and player. He just ain't the GOAT. To sit here and tell me 6 rings is more than somebody who got 11. Just because you didn't watch him, you can't say he's not the GOAT. If you go back and watch some of these dudes, all right, and that's another thing wrong with the NBA. All people do is watch Jordan. They come on these channels and just talk about Jordan. It's the Jordan bubble. To me, Kobe Bryant is a better all-around player than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan get all the credit for North Carolina. He played on an all-star team at North Carolina. I'm waiting on somebody in this chat or on these calls prove me wrong. Use your Google machine and start looking up stuff that you should look up on Mike. If you're going to call somebody a GOAT, he has to take down giants in their prime. Mike ain't never beat a super team. Am I wrong, man?
You done?
Oh, I'm done.
Okay, so
tell me where I'm wrong at.
So who's the GOAT?
There's no such thing as a GOAT, man.
Oh, okay.
We all got to live with that as people.
Well, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that.
All eras have different style of play.
But if there's no greatest of all time, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I think I don't know why everybody just can't live
I wouldn't
with
debate. I wouldn't debate. I wouldn't go to bat and debate somebody. Oh, it is a greatest of all time. I really don't care. I know the best basketball player I seen play the game, right? So I can speak can speak on that, right? But as far as like it has to be a GOAT, it don't have to be a GOAT. It really don't. I can care less.
What?
So yeah,
let's throw the word context out there real quick, man. I'll roll out after this. Let's throw the word context. When you say the best you've seen, right? Is that when you say that's kind of subjective because that's mean this man was better at everything. Why we just can't say that's the most exciting player that you ever seen? Because if you look in the dictionary, these words that y'all using is not for these people. Michael Jordan was only good for those 6 years. The Bama ain't make it to the playoffs 3 years straight. He got swept by Bird twice. Nobody talks about the sweeps. So how you gonna be a GOAT with some sweeps on your record?
Well, I just told you I'm okay. I'm okay with not.
No, I ain't talking about you. I ain't talking about you.
But I'm saying you got to be talking about me because you on my show. But I'm okay with you saying that there's no GOAT. I'm fine with that, right? But what I will say for what I've seen and observed watching basketball and playing basketball, the best player I've seen play the game is Michael Jordan. The second best player I've seen play the game is Kobe Bryant. That's my statement.
Okay, so you know what that means?
It doesn't have.
That means you haven't been watching all the basketball.
That's fine. I can admit that. I didn't watch the 60s and the 50s. I didn't watch the 70s either. So Dr. J definitely has a argument to be one of the best that ever played the game. Have I seen all of Dr. J? So for me, it starts with the late or the mid 80s. I was born in early 80s. So of course, watching basketball, I'm seeing stuff as very small child in the 80s, but the 90s, that's when I really can observe and know what I'm actually looking at. So anything from the 90s to now, I would say Mike and Kobe was the best I've ever seen. Anything before
Clyde Drexler was just as good as Mike back there.
Hold on. Anything before the 90s, I can't say someone's the best I've seen, but I could say they're the best I've researched, right? Based on statistics, based on storylines, based on what the greats have said about them, based on looking at every statistical data at that point I can look at and highlights, because I can't go back and live through that era to know and gauge everything. But it's not a fair comparison to compare somebody you've seen and witnessed from start to finish versus someone you haven't seen and witnessed from start to finish. So I don't bleed over anything before the 90s with 90s and after. But anything after the 90s, I can make that bold statement. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, best I've seen. Anything before that, I can't make that bold statement.
Hey, the only reason why you make that statement, you know, as much as I love Kobe, those two dudes played on great teams, bro. Sports is a team sport. It's just Slim, like the most overrated
playing on a good team or a great team or a bad team doesn't change what I observe from basketball, right?
No, I'm not saying that.
But listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. When I'm judging a player, if I'm saying I want to see which player is the best I've ever seen, I don't need him on a bad team to be able to say that. He can be on the greatest team, and I can still. When you look at Michael Jordan on the Olympic team, which is the greatest team we've seen, you look at that Olympic team, you can still grade Michael Jordan and say he was the best that was on that team. It doesn't change the fact just because the team was good.
No, hold on. But it's context to what you're saying, because remember, this go back to him not beating nobody in their prime. All them dudes was old. They was retiring. So you can't just say, just because you saw the picture of Jordan and Bird on the court together, meaning Bird was in his,
that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when I watch Michael Jordan play, and everyone else that I've ever watched, whether they was in their prime or past their prime or before their prime, I haven't seen a player better than Michael Jordan in no capacity.
Wow.
Right?
That's amazing.
Why does that bother you? If you say that you have seen a player better than him, I would say, okay, well, cool.
Well, look, it don't bother me. I'm saying it's tripping me out because, like I said, if I watched 90s basketball, I was around. All right, Clyde Drexler was a beast, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was.
The difference was Clyde didn't have a team. You know what I'm saying? You had Charles Barkley and them. It was a lot of them dudes.
I disagree.
Nah, look, when Jordan played him in the finals, hey, he was the only Hall of Famer on the team.
I disagree. He had a
You
really
can disagree, but that's real.
he had a really good team. He had a really good team. I mean, how they get to the finals out of the West if they wasn't good?
No. When I say,
hold on. Was there any superstars as good as Michael Jordan that had a good team, or was Michael Jordan the only superstar with a good team?
Okay, that's a great question. The trick was, and this is why I compare him to LeBron. He always had 3 or 4 superstars on his team.
Answer the question, please, sir.
I just answered it. Even when he had Dennis Rodman, nobody had more than 2.
We're going back to his first 3 people before Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
When it was Horace Grant and Pippen and Paxson and Michael Jordan and Bill Cartwright and Livingston and Stacey King and all them dudes, right? When he had that squad, was Michael Jordan the only superstar that had a good team? Because you just said Clyde was a superstar, but he didn't have a good team. All right, so Clyde didn't have a good team. Did any other superstar have a good team, or was Michael Jordan the only superstar that had a good team? I just need that answer on record.
What I'm saying again?
Yes or no? Was Michael Jordan?
You can't answer it just a yes or no because Mike had 4 superstars on his team.
DC Slim, that's what I'm asking.
But he had 4. Everybody else had 2 at the most.
That's what I'm asking for. We're talking about his first three-peat. Was Michael Jordan?
He had 4.
Was Michael Jordan the only superstar who had a good team, or was there other superstars who had a good team?
Look, superstars had good teams, but they was not stacked like the Bulls.
I bid you a good night, sir. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you for the call.
So you want to make a cash shot bet that you won't pull that up on your computer and you'll see that?
Yeah, I bid you a good night, sir. Like
I make a bet with you right now.
Yeah.
Oh, you won't bet that?
There's no need.
Wait a minute. How's that no news? You won't even look that up.
There's no need.
How's that a no? See, look, what you just did is why sportsmen. I'm giving you a fact that it's written. It's not like this a lie. This is all true. Everybody knows that Chicago had a stacked bench and all the better. That's why he went and got Dennis Rodman. He had Kukoc. He had my man from Australia. He had 4. He had the best of the best on his team.
Yeah, but
all 6 of them rings.
Yeah, but that ain't got nothing to do with what I'm asking you.
The strongest competition he ever played was Seattle.
Before we get to the second three-peat, I'm asking you about the first three-peat. The first
I just gave you an answer.
Listen what I'm asking you. We'll get to the next caller, right? Listen what I'm at. This is the last time I'm asking you to answer this question. Because I'm trying.
I didn't answer it good enough for you.
I'm trying to run a show and people want to hear the answer because we can't move.
I gave you an answer.
Listen to what I'm saying.
I'm gonna give you the answer again. Here it is.
All right. No. Here's the question. The first three-peat, because you mentioned Clyde Drexler and the Blazers, and Michael Jordan played Clyde Drexler and the Blazers in the finals. And when I said that Michael Jordan was the best player I ever seen, right? Your comment was supposed to be a comment to either agree with that or disagree. And you disagreed with that by saying Clyde Drexler was also as good as Mike. The only difference between
I didn't disagree with it. I just said that I was amazed that that's the only player you've seen that good.
The only difference between Clyde and Mike is that Mike had a stacked squad or a good team. You say Mike had a good team and Drexler didn't have a good team. So you're saying that the Blazers that played Michael Jordan's team during his first three-peat was not a good team, but Michael Jordan's team was a good team. So Bill Cartwright, Stacey King, Craig Hodges, John Paxson, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant. That's a good team. But Terry Porter, Kevin Duckworth, Clyde Drexler, Cliff Robinson, all of these guys are not good players.
You ready for this?
Hold on. All
of them dudes was injured.
Jerome Kersey, Buck Williams, all of these dudes. So you saying
they were injured?
Listen. So you saying the Blazers didn't have a good team, but the Bulls did. So here's my question.
Mel, listen
to what I'm saying.
Here's the question. This again.
Here's the question.
I don't know if I can answer it any clear.
Any superstar during Jordan's first three-peats have a good team?
Look. This is a trick question. I can't answer.
All right, I bid you a good night, sir. All right, caller from Arizona. What's up? What's your thoughts?
I think one thing that Michael did benefit from was the triangle offense.
Okay.
Because he was a one-man show for the longest time, and he just couldn't get past past the Pistons or Boston. But I think him being coachable and being willing to have an equal opportunity offense.
Correct.
So everyone got to touch the ball, elevated the team. And then in the fourth quarter, he was able to conserve his energy for the first 3 quarters.
Correct.
At that point, he can take over a game. And I think that's one thing that Kobe also benefited from. And I don't think LeBron has ever been coachable enough to buy into a system that allowed him, as he got older, to still be effective with his diminished athleticism. He's just doing the same thing he's done for 22 years. And he could be on a championship team as the 6th player or 7th player, but basically not the starring role. And he should be succeeding to Anthony Davis, and he'd have a lot better chance
Correct.
of winning another championship. But I don't think he's ever going to defer.
Correct. No, everything you said was on point. Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant did benefit from the triangle. Triangle was a fantastic offense, but any offense that is predicated on ball movement, spacing, the ball not sticking to one side of the court, the ball not sticking to one player, movement off the ball. It has a mix of posts in the mid, in the low, in the high post. It has a mix of backdoor cuts. It has a mix of so many different variety of things. And like you said, an equal opportunity system where I can make a play for you or myself. It's not one guy that's making a play for everyone. When you in an offense like that, and I think I've seen Pat Riley implement stuff like that. I've seen, of course, Greg Popovich. I've seen Phil Jackson implement offenses like that. Even Steve Kerr with the Warriors. Those offenses are more deadly than when you give your ball or give the ball to the best player and then do 5-man out high screening roll where he makes the play for everyone. His numbers look good, but it's harder to win that way. And that's what LeBron has always been good at. It worked for him because he was always able to stack his teams with a co-star that could score as good as the best scorer in the league. Like every time it's worked for him, he's had a score like Wade, Kyrie, or Anthony Davis. His co-star is always like a microwave scorer, right? And then his third scorer usually are microwaves as well, Chris Bosh, Kevin Love, right? So he's always had freaking microwaves around him with shooters around him, the floor spaced, and he was in tip-top condition in his prime. And now he's not in his prime and he don't have a stack squad. And that system is rearing its ugly head and it's not working.
Yeah, and I'm biased because I'm originally from Chicago, but the thing I always admired about Michael is, he had reduced athleticism after he came back from basketball, and he totally changed his game for his diminished level of athleticism, but was still able to win another three-peat. And I don't know if we'll ever see anyone quite like him again. And I think that's what basketball is missing, is that it's a copycat league. Everyone is just kind of, pumping up as many threes as possible.
Yeah.
And I think it's artificially inflating stats because when you've got like someone like Russell Westbrook, where he did, 3 or 4 years in a row, triple-double, and you compare that to Oscar Robertson when there was an inside-outside game, he's grabbing rebounds, against, 7-footers and still managing triple-double. I mean, some of the older players aren't getting the shine that they should because it was just much more difficult to accumulate stats in that era.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you ain't
love your show.
Hey, I appreciate it, brother. I'm glad you called in, man. I'm glad you enjoy the content, man. Hope you subscribe, man. Hope you can share it to some more people, man. I appreciate you being here, though.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Bye.
My caller from Alabama or Mississippi, you said you was going to call in. You can go ahead and call in. Caller from California, make sure you got YouTube cut off in the background.
Yeah, it's all the way off.
All right, go ahead. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, let's get back to the topic. and there's a reason why it's dying.
Okay.
Now, you hear a lot of people talking about the decline of the league over the past, what they say, 10 years, right?
Right.
Right. Well, that oddly coincides with the end of the career of a guy that we both know who was the real person keeping the league afloat. The person who checked in to the game, gave his body, his soul, his sweat, his blood, his tears to the game. The love for this guy traveled from arena to arena to arena. We all know who that guy is. It just so happens that this decline of the league seems to coincide with the end of the career of that guy, and I'm talking about Kobe Bryant, and the ascendance of the league putting the machine behind LeBron James. That just, to me, is a visual thing that I could look at and see the handoff from the end of Kobe Bryant when he tore his Achilles. We're not talking about him playing after that. When he tore his Achilles, that was the end of Kobe Bryant. And LeBron James. And those two things are linked no matter what anybody has to say about it. Now, here's another thing. I'm just going to break this down real quick about the other callers saying there is no GOAT. Nobody was tripping about the GOAT. The GOAT was decided already until ESPN and all these cohorts started trying to make a case about somebody else potentially being the GOAT. And that is why you have these conversations. That is why we have these conversations. But I'm just going to break something down for you real quick, and then I'm going to let somebody else get in. LeBron James is a bigger person than Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. LeBron James is a stronger person than Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. LeBron James is an equal athlete to Michael Jordan and a better athlete than Kobe Bryant. LeBron James is taller than Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Now you have all these tangibles of this guy who is supposed to be better than these other two guys. And then you add in this small caveat, which is that LeBron James is the only GOAT level, quote unquote, GOAT level superstar player who has also possessed the ability to handpick the players that he wanted to take into battle to try to win championships. I'm going to repeat that for the people in the back. LeBron James is the only GOAT level player who has possessed the ability to handpick the players that he wanted to take into battle to win championships. And out of 10 tries, you only got 4. Now, Mel, you got to try to tell me if you got all these tangibles to be bigger, to be taller, to be stronger, to be an equal athlete, and to be as cerebral, and you supposed to be better than these other two guys, and you got 10 cracks. You got 10 cracks at a title. It's me and my 4 guys against you and your 4 guys, and you under 500. You 4 out of 10, and there's a contemporary in the league right now who is nowhere near as big, nowhere near as strong, nowhere near as fast, nowhere near as athletic, and he got just as many titles as you. Aren't you supposed to, if you're supposed to be better than Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, aren't you supposed to be better than your contemporaries?
That's a fact. That's a
so
fact.
You see what I'm saying? So these guys just got this whole thing messed up. I just wanted to share that because, I mean, we just got the whole game backwards, man. And the end of this league is going to be the lack of competition. The competition died when Kobe Bryant left the league. That's just a fact. who is the guy other than Giannis?
Brother, I got
that's going out there.
You cook, bro. You cook, but I got 2 other people on the line. I appreciate that. You can,
okay, no problem.
Yeah,
no problem.
You can hang up and stay
get
on.
that out there.
Yeah, that's good. I like what you said. But I'm gonna let Greg Anderson go next. Greg, go ahead, brother.
All right.
Hey, what's going on, man? That last caller was cooking.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna be real quick, man. Let's just kill this. MJ never beat the Giant. MJ won every year that he played with one All-Star for a full season that he played.
Mm-hmm.
So when we start talking about he ain't beat no Giants, how do you expect him to beat Bird, McHale, Parrish, DJ with the Celtics? Isaiah Rodman, McGuire, Dumas, Vinny with the Detroit Pistons. You know, when Pippen developed into an all-star, that's when they started to win. He didn't get a ready-made Pippen. He didn't inherit Hall of Fame Pippen. He had to develop a Scottie Pippen.
Correct.
Scottie Pippen was no more than Andrew Wiggins with a migraine. Every time we had a big game, he didn't show up in them fourth quarters and them game sevens. I'm from Chicago, so I remember watching them games, crying every game 6 and every game 7 that we played the Pistons because Pippen didn't show up. So let's kill those narratives. And the second narrative, they need to just put this in put to bed. They always talking about like Mike ain't beat nobody. I would argue that like in his first 3 feet, every team that he played had more talent top to bottom than him. Now, it just looked different because Mike is the best player. And Mike elevates the play of people. So when they always talk about LeBron make people better, no the hell he don't. LeBron actually brings down the game of all of the all-stars and the all-world players that he's playing with. Mike is the one that elevates the game of a B.J. Armstrong, who's comparable to a Boobie Gibson. He Hanson, Bobby Hanson. That ain't nothing but a Cal Korver remix. Mike is the one that elevates these guys' play or whatever. So man, y'all can kill me with that. He ain't beat nobody and he ain't beat no Giants. Man, when he had one player, all he needed was one running mate. He didn't need a super team.
Correct.
One running mate. And he was able to take down everybody. I'll take your comments off there.
Yes, but Greg, before you go off the air though, the crazy thing about that is people do call his team super teams, which is funny. Like, you know, it's funny that Rodman on the Bulls make the Bulls a super team, but Rodman now this is the Rodman that's past his prime. This is the Rodman that the San Antonio Spurs didn't even want no more because he wasn't helping. Right. So Rodman past his prime after a knee injury makes the Bulls a super team, but Rodman in Detroit with Isaiah Thomas don't make Detroit a super team. Rodman with David Robinson in San Antonio does not make them a super team. But as soon as he comes to the Bulls, that completes a super team. I thought that was rich and hilarious. Like, that is funny. Like,
look, this how crazy it is though, Mel. That Rodman he had different color hair. He was sitting on the sideline with his shoes off. Terry Cummings was was getting a good portion of his minutes during that period. Man, y'all can miss me with overvaluing MJ's teammates and devaluing the all NBA players that LeBron had played with.
Yeah.
Like, y'all kill me with
what DC Slim did.
D-Wade wasn't that good.
Exactly. D-Wade wasn't that good. Kyrie was never good. He's never done that without. We've heard all the talking points, and you know, but the thing about it, when DC Slim called in and he was trying to get to this super team conversation, which is not even a real conversation. Like, you know, now we're going to be arguing back and forth whether Rodman or Ron Harper was a superstar and whether the Bulls was a super team, and it proves nothing, because if they were superstars and the Bulls were a super team, it doesn't change the fact on how I grade Michael Jordan as a player. Right. I'm not saying Michael Jordan is the best I've ever seen. I told him I concede the GOAT. Right. Okay. Whoever you say the GOAT is the GOAT. Or if you say don't know the GOAT exists, I concede and say, okay, well, cool. I agree with you. So now we don't have to debate and argue about that. But for my own eyes, Mike and Kobe was the best I've seen. How the hell you go debate that? Like, there's no debate with that. It's just with my own eyes. If you say Vince Carter was the best you ever seen, I'll let you have it. There's no need to debate that.
Yep.
Like, why do people want to call and on a Friday night debate like this some nonsense? Like, it's not even necessary. And then he said in the comment section that Dennis Rodman was a defensive player of the year. And does defensive player of the year make you a superstar? Is Marcus Smart a superstar? Is Rudy Gobert a superstar? Like, this don't make no sense, man.
Hey, but look, let's give them that. Okay, look, okay. For the sake of argument, the Bulls were a super team, right? But Mike was 3-0 with his super team. Your boy was 2-2. I'm off the air, bro.
All right, thanks, Greg.
Yep.
All right. Caller from Mississippi. Is that Mississippi or Alabama? Caller, can you hear me? Alabama.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Who's it?
Hey,
How I say your name again?
It's pronounced Siobhan.
Siobhan. You said Siobhan?
Yes.
Hold on.
Yeah, because that's the way you see it spelled. That's the Irish spelling of it.
Got it. Okay. All right. So you Irish and from Alabama.
Hey, I guess I'm Black Irish. That's what Bernie Mac said on Charlie's Angels. So,
all right, go ahead. What's your thoughts?
I want to go back to the topic of Isaiah Thomas.
Thank you.
Real quick, but before I do, I agree with the two previous callers, but that guy from DC, Mel, there's no point in having a conversation with somebody who is very close-minded in certain subjects.
Yeah.
And he's not going to, and that person won't bring context nor answer your questions when you ask them, but expects you to do that.
Correct.
But on the thing with Isaiah Thomas, I definitely understand exactly what he was saying on the Mark Jackson and his son's podcast, because he's basically reiterating what I've seen Dominique Wilkins talk about on the All the Smoke podcast.
Yep.
What I've seen, we know what Charles Barkley has talked about, what we've seen Shaq and Alonzo Mourning and so many others have been talking about this. And it is frustrating because even as those of us like yourself and I and others who have been watching the NBA for as long as we've been watching it, before the rule changes, before all of that stuff and the bigger contracts and everything, it's like, it's disheartening and it saddens me because even though the NBA has come a long way, it seems like where it was supposed to have gotten better, it got worse over this time span. And for some reason, this feud that the current players of this generation tend to have with players of the older generation, not giving them their respect, but they want respect in return. It's what's the word I'm looking for? It's terrible. It's asinine to me.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's not right for younger players to have this what is it, like this perception that
they got a disdain for the era before them. They really almost speak about it like they are in disgust about it. Like the fact that they get to be mentioned as a great, like they feel like the old school getting mentioned with them is blasphemy.
Exactly. That would be like, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. Now, I do like LeBron James, but I don't think he's the Holy Grail. Let me just put that out there. So, for example, you may remember this a few years ago, maybe before the pandemic. Remember Muhammad Ali passed away. And I think it was some kind of issue was going on between China and I think Nike, something like that. And somehow LeBron was caught in the middle of it and he wouldn't speak up.
Correct.
For China, I think, or whatever the case was. And Muhammad Ali's wife, his his widow had said something like, and I'm paraphrasing, but I know she said something in the effect of, Muhammad was not just a man of like maybe his sport, but he was a man of the world, meaning everybody. He spoke up for, I guess, for everybody.
Correct.
No matter what your nationality was, even if he didn't have all the information, he may have spoke up for them. And she didn't, I guess she didn't feel like LeBron, you know, because him being into the social justice and everything, he wasn't exactly going the extra mile, I guess is what she was trying to say.
Mm.
So it's like, basically my comparison is like this. Players today, the disrespect that they have towards the older generations, it is very disrespectful because it's like generations right now not understanding what someone like a Martin Luther King Jr. did, or Fred Hampton, or a Malcolm X did. In those generations, basically, these people paved the way for them to have what they have, and they're not grateful for it.
Yep.
Now, I don't know why they feel that they're under attack for some reason, like, you know, the current players, to be so disrespectful towards the older players, former players, but that needs to stop. Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
I think it started when they start talking about how the league now was less physical, and they were using the word soft, which is a bad word to use, but I would be offended too if I'm playing in the era that I, you know, work so hard to play in and exist in, and you calling it soft. It might be physical to me, like, because I grew up in this era, so like I'm conditioned for this type of league. So for you to call it soft, I would be offended too. So I understand why the new school players are a little bit offended about that. But it's a better way to go about correcting it. You know, like it could have easily been corrected with a new school. It's not being called soft than trying to go on the attack and go back to the foundation and clown all the old school players. Like, I think that was tacky, right? They didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it started
and
with.
I think,
they don't like being called soft.
Yeah, and one more thing, since you spoke on that real quick, there was the issue also. Remember, I can't remember. I want to say this was maybe before like LeBron and Melo and D Wade came into the league. It was like right before them, and they had the issue with like the contract of like this new generation that at that time was getting ready to come in, and how they were going to start getting paid off of potential versus what they actually, you know, worked to earn. You know, getting these big time contracts before they even step foot on the NBA court.
Yeah.
And remember, that was starting to become an issue as well.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and I remember Michael Jordan said that in an interview. I think it was his last season in the NBA, like when he was with the Wizards.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that he said players are going to start getting paid off of potential versus, you know, their actual, what you see from them on an actual NBA court.
Yeah.
In the upcoming future. So
for sure.
I just wanted to point that out.
Nah, for sure. I appreciate all that. And leave a comment in the chat real quick. So I'm gonna give you a wrench, man. I appreciate your the way you express your thoughts about the game and stuff like that. And I think you're a good addition to the channel.
Problem.
Yeah. Just make a comment real quick, and then I'm gonna give you a wrench.
All right.
All right.
Appreciate you taking my call.
Yep. Ronnie, what's good, brother?
What's going down, Jay?
What's good, man? What's your thoughts?
Man, let me just say this. As far as when it comes to the league, man, this is what I think their big mistake was. They focused more on players than they did the game and teams, like the NFL does.
Yeah.
The NFL don't care about you being a star. They'll kick your ass out.
They sure will.
But the NBA, see, because we had this conversation about a week ago, and I was talking about as far as like how the league was back in the 80s, shit was bad. But then you had Magic and Bird come in, so now you can go with this whole you should understand this Holmes and Cooney strategy. Let's make money this way.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So they went with that, and then comes Michael Jordan. But still in the mid 80s, I mean, he comes in the mid 80s, but that second half, they still was still focused on the whole Magic. They still was making that money. You know what I'm saying? They knew Michael was coming. You know what I'm saying? And the 90s come, they go with Mike. They're making money off of that. And somebody was Michael was getting special treatment. There's some truth to that. And it was. You know what I'm saying? But they were making money off of that.
Yeah.
And they focused more on that. So then after Mike left, here comes this new kid. He's young and they already setting up for that. And now they know how to go about doing it. They made their money and focused more on the players. And every era, they changed the game to benefit that player so that they can keep making money off of it. That's what happened. They didn't focus on the game. They did not focus. They went away from the game. It was all about marketing the player and making money off of him. It's all business, bro. They didn't think about that, because if they would have focused, because think about back, even with the whole strategy of Larry versus Magic, there's still team connected to that, because if you was a Celtic, you didn't fuck with the Lakers.
Correct.
You get what I'm saying?
Still to this day.
So everybody had their squad. Go ahead.
Yeah, still to this day.
Yeah, to this day, everybody. You know what I'm saying? But and you see how that tradition stays there. But they didn't focus on the game and keeping that tradition. Like football, really the main things that I would say that they changed with things was just to avoid more injuries. You know what I'm saying? But they still keep to the depth of what football is, what makes it what it is. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That game is still there. So they can still make money off of that. The game alone is beneficial because it's tradition. The NBA focused on players and they didn't focus on the game, so the tradition is dead, bro. Yeah. That's why the 80s don't really vibe with this era. And because this era it's party time. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey man, come out. It's going to be harder to get somebody who lives in the castle. They up, you know what I'm saying? They up top at the castle. They live in life all luxuries. It's hard to tell that, hey man, come down here and cut this grass. That takes discipline.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know what it's like to start from the bottom to get all the way up to the top. You know what I'm saying? You just up there and y'all like, oh nah, man, these old cats just hating on us. Nah, bro. They just don't want the discipline to die from the game. You know what I'm saying? But it's easy when you just give the advantage to the players and give the luxury to them. They just in it to make the money. It ain't about the game no more, bro. The game is gone because the league don't have a discipline on, hey, we serious about this game. If you ain't here to play it, you ain't getting paid. See, the NFL is like that.
And you know
you
what?
You gotta play, bro.
It's real simple to fix if they wanted to fix, right? It's real simple, right? Because they're rewarding the stuff that's actually killing the game.
Bingo.
Right? The triple double basketball that that's killing the game. They rewarding it. Like Jokic get MVPs for playing like that. Luka is always in the MVP conversation for playing like Luka has made first team All NBA as a point guard at 1,017 pounds, 6'8", slow as molasses. And playing no defense. Somehow he's making first team over SGA and De'Aaron Fox and Steph at the point guard position. Somehow he's making first team every year and always in the MVP discussion just because he get triple double numbers. And all they had to do, if they really wanted people to go back to playing defense, they would just reward players that was actually playing both sides of the floor.
That's
right. So it's letting me know that Adam Silver wants it this way.
Yes. But see, he don't know no other way to play it because David Stern was even playing it this way. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about the game. The game was still there, even through the 2000s and shit. You know what I'm saying? The game was still there because you still had, because those guys, the Garnetts, the Carters, the Kobe's, all them, they come from they're raised by those 80s guys. You know what I'm saying? Like that's who they watch. So the game was still gonna be there, but we see it fading away. It's gone. You know what I'm saying? And the league has they have patterns on what they do. So anybody they bring some sort of spark, who's a star, but they bring some sort of spark. They put money behind that, and they change the game to benefit that. That's why everybody's shooting threes, because Steph shocked everybody. And not only that, he was winning. So they was like, oh, yeah. So, hey, more threes, shoot more threes. People love it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they're not paying attention to the fact that, no, that's Steph's world.
Yeah,
that's not for the league to do. That's what he does.
That's what Steph and Clay did. Yeah,
that's exactly.
And the honest truth is, they're not really copying Steph. They're copying James Harden. Because
that too.
No one's running, like Steph is off the ball a lot. He's running off screens. When he runs off screens, he actually creates offense for other players because he draws a lot of attention. He moves without the ball. You know, Draymond is able to have the ball in his hand and do some stuff with it. When it's Harden, only he can do stuff with the ball. There's no one else that got freedom to do that, and he has the ball all the time. He's not doing a lot of off-ball work. It's just all him getting in his bag for a step back three or a drive to the hole, and it's 5-man out basketball. There's no room for any other offense other than high screen and roll. So that's what Luka's doing. That's what Westbrook was doing. That's what Trae Young was doing before Snyder came in there and changed. And I love the way Trae Young's playing now. You know, he's concentrated more on the assists, and he's letting other people get the points. Now you see Jalen Johnson was able to come out and break out this season, right? You can't break out playing with a player like Luka or James Harden because they suffocate the whole ball. Jokic does it as well.
Right, exactly.
Right, like Kyrie Irving's not even an all-star no more.
Right.
Like
exactly.
He might be one this year because he about to show out. He just beat Phoenix, right? Without Luka. So while Luka's out for a whole month, Kyrie might be able to make all-star this year. But he didn't make it last year because Kyrie is getting pushed off to the side to just say, hey, whenever Luka don't want the ball, you got to find 25 points when Luka says your turn. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? Look, I got the ball.
That's ridiculous, bro. What kind of chemistry is that?
I dictate who gets a shot. Like everyone's shooting threes off my pass, right? But until I pass you the ball, I get to go in my bag and find whatever shot I want. It can be a step back three. It can be a one-legged three. It can be a fadeaway mid-range. It can be a post-up. Like everybody just move out of the way so Luka can have the whole floor to himself to dance one-on-one with someone. And then if the double come, I pass it to you. You better shoot it and make it because that's the only opportunity you're going to get. And then you tell your co-star in Kyrie Irving, oh, by the way, this don't work unless you get 25. So find out how to get 25.
Exactly. It's not about team no more. It's David Ruffin and the Temptations.
Correct.
That's what this shit is.
Yeah.
It's not about teams no more. It's just whoever is selling the most jerseys, we're gonna change the game to benefit them so that we can sell more. It's just money, and they're just not smart, bro. You can just tell this the business. Just because it's the NBA does not mean that the people that's running it are solid in how they're doing it. You get what I'm saying? It's all business at the end of the day, and I just think that they chose the wrong route.
Yeah,
that's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
They did. I appreciate the call, bro. Thanks, Ronnie.
All right, man. Take care, bro.
Yep. All right. That was a long topic. A lot of phone calls. I tried to get to all of them. And we can move. Funky Town. All right, that's the last call. Hey, Funky Town. Only because you VIP, you get this phone call in. What's up, brother?
Hey, brother. Happy belated Merry Christmas to you and everybody else.
Same, brother.
Hey,
I appreciate it.
Real quick. So to translate what Siobhan was trying to say, you don't negotiate with terrorists, brother.
Yeah.
I told you this over and over again.
Yeah, for sure.
But you won't listen to me. I'm wrong. Hey, bottom line, back to what he was saying. He gonna sit there and say Jordan didn't beat anybody in his prime, but he beat Barkley. He beat Drexler, dude he brought up in 92.
Correct.
When he dropped those 5 threes in the first half of game 1 and then ended up hitting 6 overall.
Correct.
And then when you say he wasn't going up,
don't forget Karl Malone and Stockton too.
I was doing like you. I was just gonna keep it on the first 3 people.
Yeah, for sure.
When he didn't have any. In 91, he didn't have an all-star on his team. It was just him.
Yeah.
In 98, he didn't have an all-star on his team. It was just him. when you go back and you look at the Blazers, like you were saying, he's going to try to poo-poo the great players. Buck Williams, a former Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Clyde Drexler, Kersey, Cliff Robinson, Duckworth, all the what was point guard's name? Terry
Porter. Terry Porter.
Terry Porter, who was on the who was cut from the '84 Olympic team on the last round with Barkley. They're the same team that beat the Lakers in 1990.
Correct.
Who ended up going against Pistons in the final.
They were stacked, and they had defenders.
But he gonna sit here and he gonna talk about we don't know what we're talking about.
Of course.
But the time period back when you go back there, the Blazers were a squad.
Of course.
Like do not get that twisted. The Blazers, they beat the Lakers, and this is the Lakers when they were rolling.
Right.
Remember, they had at that time, if they had beaten the Blazers, they would have gone to 4 straight championship games if they had won the Lakers at that time.
Right.
But again, he wanna act like we're cherry picking. Nah, he's up here making up different stuff. But no, man, y'all having a great show. Hit that like button, everybody, and let's keep this thing rolling.
Appreciate you, brother.
You got it, man.
Yep.
Out here.
All right, let's move on, y'all. Let's get to this second topic, right? So, I mean, it kind of bleeds into it, man, because you got Isaiah kind of talking about the way this new era is playing, the style of play and all that stuff, man. But then another thing happened because Klay Thompson finally, he's been moving up the ranks as far as 3-point shooting and 3-pointers made and all that stuff. So he just passed his idol, Reggie Miller. And I definitely think that's a big deal. It definitely was a big deal for Klay Thompson. He spoke about it in the post game. This is what he said.
Celebrated tonight because you just think all the hours you spent shooting and all the shots you've gotten up in your lifetime, and to pass such an icon like Reggie is super surreal for me, especially being a 90s baby. I watched him, get so many game winners, battling against the best that ever played, and leave it all out on the floor. So celebrated tonight.
So he passed Reggie Miller. Then he goes to IG and he says, one of my favorite memories along this journey was working out for the Knicks in June 2011. And Donnie Wash told me how much I reminded him of Reggie. That meant the world to me and inspired me to never stop shooting. Salute to the greatest to ever shoot it. At Reggie Miller TNT. Thanks for the blueprint, OG, right? So not abnormal, right? It's not abnormal for in the moment when you pass a all-time great on the list that you give him his flowers at that moment, right? He probably definitely thought Reggie Miller was the greatest shooter of all time when he was idolizing him as a kid coming up and he was copying him. But just because he says it now when he passes him doesn't mean it's a slight to Steph Curry, right? It's just that in this moment, I recognize that I'm passing this man, and it'll be the most respectful thing for me to do to actually give him a lot of credit in this moment because I'm passing him, right? I'm pushing him further and further down in history, right? To the so you got to kind of be aware of that. That it's bittersweet for a player like Reggie Miller because on one hand, it can't be a better person passing me like Klay Thompson, someone who actually puts in the work, someone who plays the right way, someone who's humble, but someone who also respects the game and all that stuff, right? So that's the sweet part about it. But the bitter part about it is, man, more and more people are going to pass me, and it's at some point. When I used to be number 2 on the list behind Ray Allen, now I've been passed up by daggone Steph, Dame Lillard, and now Klay Thompson. Now I'm number 6 on the list, right? I want to continue to move down. Harden's going to pass him, right? So, it's next thing you know, it's going to be some big man passing him. Luka's probably going to pass him. So, this great shooter that we once knew, who was probably one of the greatest shooters we ever seen, is now going to be forgotten with this next generation that's coming up because once he get down to number 15, number 20, I mean, what are we talking about at this point? Like, we're going to think everyone ahead of him is a better shooter than him, right? So I think Klay was just taking this moment to give him his flowers. He meant it, but at the same time, he probably didn't mean it 100%, like, because he probably really thinks Steph is the greatest shooter of all time. I mean, it was his teammate. But of course, a lot of people thought that was a slight. Well, you left Golden State, and you probably would never say that if you were still with Golden State. Now, here's my thing. I just did a show last week, and I told everybody it's not a foregone conclusion that Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time. Does he have the record for the most made threes? Yes. Does that mean he's the greatest shooter of all time? No, it doesn't mean that. Does Kareem, before LeBron had the record, did Kareem have the record for most points? Yes. Does that mean he's the greatest scorer? No. Now that LeBron has the record for most points, does that mean he's the greatest scorer of all time? No, it doesn't mean that. Just because you hold the record don't mean that you're the greatest. But when you look at Steph, he does look like the greatest. But I want you to say and think to yourself, think about this era of basketball versus the era of basketball where Reggie Miller played in or Ray Allen played in. The era where Reggie Miller, even being the best three-point shooter in the league, probably only shot around 5 threes a game. Same with Ray Allen. On top of the demand that it took on them to actually have to play defense. Like also in a soundbite that I didn't provide, Klay Thompson said, for Reggie Miller to hit that many threes in the era where he had to guard and play against the best of all time, Michael Jordan, and he mentioned Kobe as well. Like he's a two guard. He has to guard MJ. He has to guard Kobe. He tried. He was a little older when Kobe was coming up, so he had to take turns. Jalen Rose, a little bit of Mark Jackson. They had to take turns on Kobe. But for MJ, he was guarding MJ. He was guarding Mitch Richmond, Glenn Rice, Steve Smith. Like he was guarding some really good Isaiah Ryder, some really good two guards, Clyde Drexler. And you had to defend back then. Like there was no option. You couldn't be like Luka and say it's optional if I defend or not. And we're going to create a defense around me that defends for me and protects me. Right? That's the new formula today. Like, oh, if we got a bad defender, it's okay. All the other 4 players just have to be good defenders to help him. That's trash. No, you need to be able to stop your own man. Right? You need to be able to stop your own man. So on top of him playing really hard-nosed defense, he was also running through screens in the physical era of the 90s before he got his shot off. And he was only getting 5 or 6 threes a game, making those count. And he was way up on the leaderboard for all-time made threes in a tougher era, right, on both ends of the floor. I would say that's more impressive. I would say what Steph Curry is doing is impressive as well. Not as impressive as Ray Allen and Reggie Miller. I think the threes that Ray Allen and Reggie Miller was able to hit in the amount of time they did in the era that they did with the minimum amount of threes that they was taking. I think that's more impressive, but it's still impressive what Steph has done as well, because we know he's a great shooter. He's automatically in the discussion if you want to have the debate, but it's not a foregone conclusion. I see some Dale Ellis in the comment section. I see Glenn Rice, Mark Price, the same names that I was thinking of. Pager, I would go Pager and Steve Kerr maybe, but definitely Dale Ellis, definitely Mark Price. Right? So Mark Price, Dale Ellis, 100% in that discussion for the greatest three-point shooters I've ever seen. Who else on top of Dale Ellis? Glenn Rice was okay. He was better than okay. He was good, but I don't think he's up there with Steph, Reggie, Ray Allen, Mark Price. Like Mark Price and Ray Allen and Reggie, and then Steph and then Klay, those 5 right there, I would say those would be my top 5, and you can have the debate. Right. Here's Cornbread Maxwell talking about it.
Absolutely. You know what? Along those lines, Max, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring this up, man. Klay Thompson passing Reggie Miller for fifth all-time three-point shot. Max, did you think that someone would bump, or multiple people would bump Reggie all the way down to 6? Remember when Ray beat him? Like, we knew it was going to happen eventually, but man, that happened in a hurry. You know?
It's going to happen faster and faster.
It's crazy.
Only person I don't think you're going to catch for a while would be maybe Steph. Steph is Steph is unreal.
Right.
he's another level. But these other guys who are around right now, here's how ironic this thing is. How people put this stat up, and I think it's crazy. It's a crazy, good, funny stat. My buddy Draymond Green has made more threes than Larry Bird in his career.
That's crazy. Wow.
Let that marinate for a minute. Draymond Green has made more threes than Larry Bird, the great Larry Bird. And you remember, you could hear your coach right now of the LA Lakers.
JJ Redick.
He went on to say Larry Bird wasn't one of the top 3-point shooters or top 5 3-point shooters in the history of the NBA. Statistically, he is right. He's 100% right. But we know in a bizarro world, if Larry Bird had played during this particular time, the game is tailor-made for him. There was somebody, I wanted to say it was Chandler Parsons said right now that Luka is better than Larry. Well, they get the fuck out of here.
What has he done, Max? Come on, man. Not yet.
You are disturbing the great powers of the NBA when you say that Luka is better than Larry Bird. Now, Luka is one of the top players around. Larry Bird is one of the top 10 players ever to play the game in the history of the game.
Right.
Luka didn't do himself a favor at all last year in the finals. Defensively.
Got exposed, Max. He got exposed.
So Chandler Parsons, you might want to back off that and get back to something that you can really talk about, because I've seen both guys, and I can tell you he's no Larry Bird.
So I agree with that. I'm gonna address the Larry Bird and Luka part a little bit later. Let's get into what he said about, first and foremost, JJ Redick trying to make the point that Larry Bird, and this happened on First Take. He was on there debating Mad Dog Russo, and he was talking about great shooters and all that stuff. It probably was the same time. It probably was around the time when Steph passed Ray Allen for number 1. And I think they was talking about great 3-point shooters. And Russo brought up Larry Bird, and JJ Redick like scoffed at him and laughed like, man, why y'all keep bringing up Larry Bird? Like, he was like, Larry Bird is not one of the greatest shooters of all time. He only shot it, 35% from 3, or 34. He was, and he was like the great shooters like Kyle Korver, they shoot it at 40%, 41%. So he basically was saying Larry Bird is not a great 3-point shooter like in history. He could shoot, but he's not on par with these great shooters like Kyle Korver and the people that shot it at 40%. He was saying the percentage made Larry Bird not a great 3-point shooter. And I'm like, man, it's like for someone to be Duke educated and hang his hat on being a cerebral player, coach, and analyst of the game and smart, that's got to be one of the dumbest conclusions you can form by saying the best shooters are the one who got the highest percentage, and we're not going to account for when they played, what era they played in, what the opposition was like, what the defense was like, how many threes they shot. Like, common sense will tell you if I'm shooting 2 threes a game, if I want to shoot a decent percentage, I got to hit 1. Like, if I only shoot 2 threes a game, if I miss both of them, I'm 0%. If I make one of them, I'm 50%, right? You got to be pretty accurate. If you the less threes you shoot, the more accurate you have to be. The more threes you shoot, the more room for error you got, right? Because if I shoot 10 a game, I can miss 5. If I only shoot 2 a game, I can only miss 1 if I want to be 50%. If I want to be 50% shooting 10, I can miss 5. Right? And if I got a green light to shoot 10 threes and miss 5 of them, I could probably miss my first 4 and then hit 1, right? And then miss another one, but then find, okay, I get a little rhythm and get hot and I hit 4 straight and there's my 5 and I'm 50%. right? But if I'm telling you, hey man, you only got 3 threes that you can make this game, and you better shoot it at above 40. That's tough. Like if I look at how many threes Larry Bird shot a game, it wasn't a lot. It wasn't like Steph. I mean, hell, Ray Allen wasn't even shooting that many threes. Right? It's easy to shoot from the hip. Right? It's easy to shoot. If I'm asking you to be a sniper, and I tell you you got one shot to hit that dude center mass, you got one shot from 600 yards away. You got one shot. You better make it count. That's called a sniper. But if I'm telling you, hey man, you got 2 guns on your hip, and you can just bring it up and shoot and empty the whole clip. 12 rounds in each gun, however many rounds. Hey man, just let all of them go. Pow, 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 pow. Yeah, that's what they're doing in this league right now. They shooting from the hip with 2 guns, and they emptying the clip. And then after they finish, oh man, look how many holes I put in them. Well, you got these guys is 1 kill shot, make it count. Which one is tougher? A sniper? Which one takes more skill, more precision, more concentration, right? Less room for error. Which one is more impressive? Hey, you got 1 shot, make it count. Or hey, look, man, you got 2 guns, shoot from the hip. You ain't even got to aim. You ain't even got to open your eyes. Just close your eyes and blah, 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 blah. We're going to let you get 12 threes a game. 12 threes a game is insane. 12 threes a game is insane. Imagine Larry Bird shooting 12 threes in his era right now. He was already averaging 30 in a tougher era with less threes. Imagine that he was playing in this era. And a coach told him, man, we're going to let you get 10 threes up. It'll be insane. So, no, I don't agree with JJ Redick saying I'm just going to go by the percentages, and whoever got a higher percentage is the better shooter from 3. That's dumb. Right? That might work for free throws, because in a situation for free throws, everyone who shoot free throws got the same exact scenario. You get a certain amount of seconds to shoot it before it's a violation. No one can contest your shot. It's the same distance. There's no defense. It's just you and the goal and whatever noise crowd you got. That's your only opposition. So when you take a free throw percentage, it's more accurate to say the better free throw shooter is whoever got the best percentage. But when you take 3-point percentage, you got to take for account how many you take in a game. How contested is it? What era are we playing it? Because if we're in the hand check era, those threes didn't come easy. You got to take into account for all of that, right? I mean, even with Kobe Bryant, you think about the threes he took, and the mid-range jumpers he took. A lot of them was contested because that's the shot he practiced. And then you take a guy like LeBron James, and he get a lot of open threes because, people go into his screens because they don't respect his 3-point shot. Right. So that's my thing. I don't know if it's a foregone conclusion that Steph Curry is the greatest shooter. I think Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, Dale Ellis, guys like that, even Larry Bird got something to say about that. And whoever said Glenn Rice, yeah, you was right. Glenn Rice was a sniper as well. It's just a lot, man. Even Mahmoud, definitely Mark Price. I hope I said Mark Price. Mark Price for sure. Like these guys would fit into this era quite nicely, and their careers would look a lot different with a coach telling them that you can get 10 threes a game. It'll look a lot different in a era of space and pace, and an era of no impedance of the offensive player off the ball or on the ball. Like it's just a different era, so it'll be different. But that's my thought on that. But let's get to this Luka part. So Maxwell said, "Give me a freaking break. Luka ain't nowhere near no freaking Larry Bird." I agree 100%. Luka's nowhere near Larry Bird. Like Larry Bird is. I mean, Luka has been a favorite to win MVP for 5 straight years, and he's been first team all NBA for like 4 straight years. They're practically trying to give this dude the MVP, and he can't grasp it. Like the offense that he's in is giving that it's basically designing a triple double. Like the offense that Luka plays in, it's almost an indictment on him that he doesn't get a triple double every game. Like they designed the offense for him to get a triple double. The fact that he's not getting a triple double shows you how good he's not. Like I'm designing for you to get a triple. If I told you right now, sit down and design an offense that can guarantee a player 10 assists, it'll be the exact offense that they run in Dallas. Give Luka the ball, put nothing but shooters around him, and a lob threat setting screens for him in the screen roll option. And you got either I'm going to the hole, I can lob it to Gafford, and not only that, when Gafford goes sit down on the bench, now I got Lively coming in. So I got a lob threat for 4 straight quarters all the time. Easy assist if they come and help off my dribble drive. Lob threat. Or I got Kyrie in the corner, Dinwiddie on the arc. I got PJ Washington in the corner. I got 3 shooters in both corners and one of the on the weak side on the arc. And if someone come and help to take away that lob, which is an assist for me, I can just make that pass to a 3-point shooter. And I'm doing that for 4 quarters, 12 minutes, 48 minutes, 12 minutes a quarter, 48 minutes in the game. I got the ball in my hand probably 80% of every play. I'm coming up. And we shooting 53s. Most of them off my assists. And all the lobs are coming off me. I'm giving you 10 assists a game. The fact that you can't get 10 every game shows me how flawed you are. Right? Then on defense, we're hiding you on defense. We're saying, Luka, we're going to guard everything up top for you. All you got to do is go to the corner because every team runs the same offense where they put 2 shooters in the corner. So now we can hide our worst defender and say, man, go guard whoever's in the corner. And just stand there. Everyone else up top, we'll guard the screen and roll. We'll guard all of that. We'll have our best defender on the ball. We'll do all that. We'll hide Luka. Sometimes a team will have somebody in the corner. They come set the screen from the corner guy just so they can get Luka involved in the screen. And they got a crisscross method where if Luka got to come up and guard a screen and roll action, the other guy from the other side will just switch with Luka so Luka won't get involved in the screen and roll and Luka can go back and guard somebody that's not going to get the ball. Like they're hiding him on defense, right? So if I'm standing in the corner and most teams are shooting 53s a game, 43s a game, those long rebounds are just for, I ain't got to box out or nothing. Those rebounds just falling. All I got to do is take 3 steps from the corner, rebound dropping in my hand. That's 10 a game for 4 quarters. 53. I'm just adding the threes. I ain't even talking about all the other shots, just the threes, 50 or 43s turning into long rebounds. Can you get 10 of them? If you're not defending the one, you're not defending the ball and then having to contest a shot and the ball is behind you. You're not like you're contesting the shot. You can't even see the ball. But when you're in the corner, just standing there, you're looking at everything and then you see the ball hit the rim and you see what's falling. You just take a step up. Oh, boop, rebound. No box out, no nothing. It's just falling into my hand. Can you get 10 of those a game off of 43s? And they're only hitting 10 threes out of those 40 they're taking. So that's 30 missed threes. Are you able to get 10 of those? So they're gifting Luka 10 assists, 10 rebounds. And then, oh, by the way, he's got the green light to take between 20 and 35 shots a game. Any shot he wants. I can go all the way to the hole. I can get fat and just back somebody down for 5 seconds and foul merchant. I'm going to get to the free throw line. I can take step back threes. I can do whatever I want in this offense. Like the world is my oyster. I have the entire parking lot at my disposal where I can attack from. But my teammates, who I'm supposed to be better than, they can only get their points inside of the phone booth. Imagine being in the parking lot. No cars in the parking lot. Luka got the whole parking lot where he can dribble and he can go in every spot on that parking lot. But Kyrie can only go inside the phone booth, and he's got to get 25 points inside of a phone booth. PJ Washington can only go in the corner in the phone booth. Derek Lively can only set screens and roll and catch lobs. Imagine that. Imagine putting your best player in a situation where he has everything to his disposal, but the players that's supposed to be less than him can only go in the phone booth and just wait for a pass. And you're telling your second option, your co-star, this offense doesn't work if you don't get 25. You have to figure out how to get 25 just whenever Luka just gets tired and throws you the ball. So, hey, you got to score. It's your turn now. Like, Luka can do whatever he wants until he say, all right, your turn, Kyrie. And Kyrie got to get 25 of those in the finals against Tatum and Brown. Like, you're not even running offense with Kyrie Irving. There's no offense for Kyrie. You just throw him the ball and move out of his way, and he's got to get 25 of those in order for them to win. And they're doing the same thing in Denver. Jokic, running point guard, 1,017 pounds, fat, 7 foot, slow as molasses. Can't jump over a phone book. But he want to go coast to coast on a freaking fast break. And Michael Porter Jr. in a freaking phone booth. I can only shoot threes. What are we doing? So, no, he's not better than Larry Bird. And until he can play real basketball and defense and play in a real offense and let a real point guard play point guard, and you get your fat beluga whale, Oprah Winfrey, Luka Vandross long ago in a freaking small forward position and actually play, no, you're not good as Larry Bird. You're not even close to Larry Bird. I'm sorry. It's not. So he's not better than Larry Bird, but is he a top 2, top 3 player in the league right now? Because you let ESPN rankings tell it. They got Jokic number 1. They got Luka number 2. Go figure. The 2 best players in the league play 0 defense. Go figure. And then the players that actually are winning more than them, the player that just won the championship in Jason Tatum, he's the guy that can't even get in the game in the Olympics. He's the guy that plays both sides of the ball, averaging 10 rebounds this year. Not because he's standing in the corner. He's still defending at a high level and getting 10 rebounds because he's playing power forward in that system. So Brown can play small forward. And guess what he's also doing? Playing off the ball, because they got a point guard like Drew Holiday who's actually a point guard. They let him actually play point guard in Boston. They let Derek White actually play point guard in Boston. Jason Tatum is not trying to hog the assist stats like Luka and Jokic is. You in Denver got Jamal Murray as a starter who's a very capable point guard, and Russell Westbrook as a backup who's a very capable point guard. And they can't even get the assists like they want to because Jokic wants them. Kyrie Irving, capable point guard. But Luka got to play point guard. Kyrie got to play 2 guard. I seen Kyrie Irving guarding freaking Anthony Edwards last game. Why? Insane. You get a smaller player, the tougher task, because he actually wants to play defense, but Luka gets, like, for you being a bad defender, you get rewarded with rest on defense. Hey, we go hide you. We're not gonna put a burden on you to have to play defense. So you do that, right? So the guy who plays defense, plays both sides of the ball, and plays off the ball, that's the guy who doesn't get rewarded at all. But the guy who's out there hogging stats, is in the front of the MVP race, and also on the top of all the rankings, ESPN, Bleacher Report, by not playing defense. I don't understand it. So Jeff T talked about that.
We gonna do start comparisons about how y'all glorify certain shit that Luka do, and then downplay it with Jason Tatum do it. We'll say that for
when he had his stats.
Hey, it's low key getting blatant now.
That game that he had, yeah, and nobody talked about it.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
that's why I posted it, because I was like, hey, Luke, I'm gonna keep it a bean. I'm gonna stamp it. Luka not better than him. He not, bro. I don't know what he do better than him. I mean, he might pass better.
He facilitates
okay, he
better.
pass better.
He do.
That's it.
They might rebound the same.
JT guard better than him.
That's a fact. I like JT over Luka, but I fuck with Luka off the strength of the fat nigga game. He out of shape and he running the NBA.
Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
I just think JT got a better chance of stopping him than he got of stopping JT.
The way he dragged the Suns, bro.
Yeah, but you played me in the chip.
I just seen the Patriots drag the Suns. Nothing special.
This nigga.
And we just seen you in the chip.
I get it. I love JT.
That is a very valid point. I just seen you when it mattered the most.
Yeah.
I love JT, and I'm taking JT over Luka, but I'm Luka, bro. I put up these numbers every night, all the time. That's why it's kind of common. When you do it, it's kind of be like, oh damn, Jason Tatum.
But they gas it when Luka do it though.
I just don't like when they downplay when he does. Like, obviously, we know you got to respect what Luka does because Luka's like that. I just don't like when they downplay when JT. Like, don't do that. He's stat padding. Don't do that, bro.
Nah, JT deserve all his flash. JT get a lot of smut for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. You know what I mean? Probably something I don't know, but Luka just more consistent with them crazy numbers though, bro.
Yeah, he get crazy numbers a lot. But I'm saying, like, we was all talking, not us, but like the media was talking about JT. They was giving him like for not winning a chip. He been to the conference finals. He did all this. But Luka doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't hear nothing about, it's time for Luka to win. Like, nobody say nothing this year about it.
Yeah. The pressure was put on.
Yeah, it's like,
JT.
if he don't win, he's starting to become like a...
That's what happened when you win a lot, though.
Yeah, but Luka...
This is like, about time.
But Luka made to the chip. The year before, they had a good run.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he didn't have playoff moments.
But JT been doing it, bro, since the start of this motherfucker.
Yep.
So that's a different type of pressure. Like, nigga, get over the hump now. It sucks, but Luka ain't have early success like that. Jason Tatum is a rare breed in the NBA, bro.
What happens if they swap teams?
I don't like it.
I don't like it either. Boston becomes worse. And Dallas becomes worse.
Facts.
Because what Luka do for Dallas, JT, he's not the same. Luka like a point guard.
Yeah,
for sure.
JT ain't doing that.
Nah, he not a point guard. But I'm just saying, if I was starting my team, I probably would take Jason for me.
Okay.
Because the way I like to play basketball.
I agree. If I was starting my team, give me Jason Tatum. Right? Give me Jason Tatum. Right. So let's go over this again. I know y'all tired of seeing my little illustration up here, but let's go over how I look at what an MVP is. Because right now they got Luka still in the MVP race. He just got hurt last game, so he'll probably fall out on the next week list. All right. But the fact that he was even in there just goes to show you that they just value triple doubles for some reason. And it's a style of basketball you can play that's going to get you triple doubles. I just explained it, right? But Jokic does the same thing, and he's been the number one on the MVP list since week number 2, right? He's been number 1 ever since because triple-double is all they think about. He's averaging a 30-point triple-double. They can care less. They just got clapped by Cleveland just now. And Mitchell's not even an MVP candidate. And he's leading that team to the best record in the league, just like Jason Tatum led Boston to the best record in the league last year. And he didn't sniff a top 3 finish in the MVP voting. And then SGA got snuffed out by Jokic. It's the triple-double. They just love it. They just love it. They love the triple-double more than they love defense, more than they love winning. Denver is not winning at all. They're blaming everyone. They're blaming Michael Porter Jr. They're blaming Jamal Murray. They haven't quite started blaming Mike Malone yet, but it's coming, right? They won't blame Jokic. He would never get any blame as long as he's putting up a triple-double. But that's not how I look at MVPs. It's not about triple-double, right? It's about your value on both ends of the floor. right? So all the candidates have offensive value. They do it different. The offensive value for Jason Tatum is just score points. Give me 28 points. Give me 28 points. That's all I need, right? So if you can score me points, boom, you show me offensive value. But what Jokic is doing is, like right now, he's getting 28 to 30 points plus 10 assists, right? Now, I'm not saying that Tatum's not getting any assists at all, but it's not close to 10. He's getting about 5 to 6 assists, which is normal for a guy who's only concentrating on scoring, who's not playing point guard. Like if you don't play point guard, it's not your job to rack up the assists. Drew Holiday's job is to distribute the basketball, and Derek White's job is to distribute the basketball. They're the point guards, right? They even got Pritchard. He likes to shoot a lot of threes, but he's a point guard as well. So they have conventional point guards that get them their assists, right? So what the NBA is really saying is if you don't play point guard for your team or point forward, if you're not the offensive hub for your team, if they don't go, if you're not the assist guy for your team, you can never beat out an assist guy for MVP. Because as long as Jokic is getting close to 10 assists, close to a triple-double, that's more fascinating than winning to them. That's more fascinating than defense, because what Tatum does, he rebounds at an elite level for a small forward. He's getting 10 rebounds a game. That is elite for a small forward. To compare that to what LeBron James do, who we all think is a great rebounder, I don't think LeBron has ever averaged 10 rebounds. Ever. Bird has. Bird averaged 10 rebounds for his entire career. That's an elite rebounder for at the small forward position. Tatum is doing that. Larry Bird has won 3 MVPs in a row. The only player who's ever done that. 3 in a row. Tatum's rebounding like him. Tatum's winning like him. He's been to the finals twice. He won once. He's been in the conference finals like 4 times. He's been winning since he was 19 when he joined the league. And then, oh, by the way, he plays elite defense. So if I'm getting you 28 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists while playing elite defense, and I have the best record, and oh, by the way, I just won the championship, how am I not even in the conversation for MVP? How am I losing in the MVP ladder to a guy with a worse record, a guy that don't play defense, all because he gets 4 more assists than me? I get more wins, and I play the other end of the floor defense, elite. He don't play defense, and he get less wins, but he has 4 more assists, so that makes him more valuable than me? God forbid. So offensive value, defensive value, and your team success is what I look at when I grade MVPs and even when I grade players in general. Luka's lacking there. Jokic is lacking there. Harden is lacking there. Anybody who plays that style is lacking there. Right? So with that being said, I open the phone lines up. This is the last time I open it up for the night. I'm only going to take 3 phone calls. I want to know y'all thoughts on Luka, the MVP, Jokic, Tatum. First of all, answer the question when you call. Is Luka better than Jason Tatum, or is Jason Tatum better than Luka? We'll start there. Then you can talk about if you think Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time. Caller from New York, what's up?
What's up? I just saw the lines open up. I'm just trying to call in on the Luka thing.
All right, let's go. What you got?
Okay. Basically, I think that, Luka Doncic is overrated. I think that overlooking Jason Tatum as MVP candidate is just a way for the league to downplay real, authentic basketball and cater to casuals. I don't think that it's going in a good direction, and I just think that's a lot of showmanship out there. It's not. They're rewarding, like Mel said, they're rewarding triple doubles, fancy plays over real basketball and really rating players the way they should be rated. So I just wanted to speak on that.
That's a daggone good point, man. You said they pretty much overshadowing real basketball and rewarding I don't even know what you call what kind of basketball you call this?
Rewarding. I'm from New York, so it's like Showtime ball, showmanship. It's like Rucker Park, step backs, threes. It's easy for a casual to understand a crossover, 3-point shot, lobs. It's harder to understand intricate offenses, intricate defenses, schemes, 1-2 dribble pull-ups. That's hard for a casual to understand. So they've simplified the game.
Yeah. Oh, now you cooking. What's your name again?
My name is Sonny.
You cooking, bro. Nah, you cooking. And you said it, and you didn't have to use a lot of words to say it, man. You got right to the point. I ain't even got nothing to add to that. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Like, who don't value a 1 dribble pull up or a 2 dribble pull up like that? That's art to me. That's art.
100%. I call it liquid poetry.
Yeah,
I call that liquid poetry,
and it's advanced. Believe it or not, that's advanced. If you can get a high percentage shot with 1 or 2 dribbles, that tells me a couple of things. That means you can read someone's body language. That you can read their feet to know which
100%.
foot to attack. And you can utilize the triple threat very good, right?
Yep.
And your jab step very good. Like, that's the first thing I taught my son. And
100%.
And I think that's the first thing Carmelo taught his son. When you see Carmelo working with Cayenne when he was real young, he was not doing no cone work, no cone drills, no dribbling. He had that boy working on triple threat and mid-range jump shots.
Everything you're saying is 100% accurate, and that's basketball. Basketball is the art of getting to my weapon with the least amount of movement, with the least amount of struggle, least amount of effort. Because if you think about it, in a gunfight, the guy who can pull out the weapon first wins. If I have to take 7 dribbles to create space, I've lost already.
Correct. And that's what this NBA is, man. Open the floor wide open, and you get unlimited dribbles to get to a shot. That is insane.
100%.
And you know
100%.
what I hate about the word efficiency, because they use that word so much in NBA circles, and they think efficiency is only your field goal percentage. Oh man, he's way more efficient. Like Kobe Bryant was an efficient scorer. That's why LeBron's better than him. He wasn't efficient because he shot it at 44%. But my definition,
that's a massive lie.
That's a lie.
Sorry, cutting you off. Go ahead.
Because my definition of efficiency is exactly what you described. Because how much time did you use off the clock to get to your high percentage shot? How many screens did you use? How many dribbles did you use? How much space did you need?
And then to add to that, people talk about Kobe Bryant. I'm a huge Kobe and Jordan fan, right? Here's the thing they don't bargain for. It's very difficult to score in small spaces.
Correct.
NBA of the 1990s and 2000s, you had a box you had to score from.
Correct.
You had maybe 4 or 5 feet of space you could score from because there was so much help. The lane was packed, and shot blockers then were not charge takers. They were shot blockers. They're coming for your shot. Now the league is full of charge takers, so the floater is good, on and on and on. But if you put Kobe in a scenario where it's 5 out and he only has to worry about 1 player, come on, man. It'll be video game scores.
Yeah, it would be.
So when I hear people talk about, oh, this guy's not efficient, much like you, it drives me up the wall, because in my head I'm like, do you understand that he's scoring through massive layers of coverage to get to the rim or to get to a shot, and he's doing it and making it look easy? The only player I can watch now is Kevin Durant. That's the only player I can watch right now, because he plays basketball from a score standpoint, much like you said, as a sniper.
Yeah.
He finds his target and he executes. That's it.
Kyrie Irving's like that as well. I like Kyrie, Kevin Durant. I
agree with Kyrie.
I really love SGA.
He reminds me of T-Mac a lot, Orlando T-Mac a lot.
Yeah, I love SGA. And believe it or not, despite what I've been saying today, I love watching Jokic, man. Like, how you not like his post game? Like, Jokic post game. The only thing I don't like about Jokic is him having the need to play point forward. I get it. You can pass your butt off. But so could Sabonis. And we didn't give him the ball to play point forward.
Yeah.
Sabonis' son can pass over in Sacramento. We didn't give him Chris Webber could pass. Vladdy Divac.
Chris Webber's an underrated passer.
Great passer. So is Vladdy Divac. Great passer.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So is Larry Bird. Great passer. Just because you can pass don't mean you have to be the point guard or the point forward.
But you know what? To sell the merchandise, it's easier to have the biggest thing on your team You know, because it's the easiest thing to see. 7 feet, 300 pounds. It's easy to see. And then if you see a big guy running up and down the court,
we don't say 7 foot 300 pounds here, Sonny. We say 7 foot 117 pounds. I mean 1,000. 7 foot 1,017 pounds. That's what we say for Jokic.
7 feet 1,070 whatever pounds.
Yeah,
I say I mean, but that's the thing, right? Because it's designed to be a spectacle. Like the NBA is like P.T. Barnum and Bailey Circus from back in the 1800s. That's all it is now. You know, make the Tiger do a trick and get the cheers from the crowd. So it's more fun to see a 7-footer dribble the ball, shoot a three, make an unnecessarily flashy pass. Not that it's basketball, because I saw you earlier talking about David Robinson. DC Slim should be barred from all telephonic devices, by the way. I just wanted to say that, but put that aside for a minute. The idea that centers from the 90s and 2000s can't play in this league, it's not real. It's just not real.
Right.
You know? So I just think that right now the game is just set up for casuals, you know, shoot threes, make great passes, and ignore real talent executing like Jason Tatum versus Luka. It's more fun to watch Luka, but it takes a student to appreciate Tatum.
Facts. I appreciate that call. I already got your number saved now, man, so I know when you call. You give
Fantastic,
you getting VIP status, brother.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it.
All right.
Yep. Hey, Sonny was cooking. Let's get one more call. Sonny was cooking, y'all. Sonny was cooking. he said he's starting to fall in love with Sonny. Hey, Sonny, we about to get you. Hey, we about to make you start a podcast, Sonny. Hey, Sonny. Hey, we about to make Sonny start a podcast, y'all. Caller from Ohio. What's good?
What's up, man?
What's up?
Hey, first thing, I'm just going to fall back a little bit. When they're talking about Portland, Portland made the NBA Finals in 90 and 92, so I think they forgot to put that in, talking about how Portland didn't have no team. Right. They made it. Remember, they played the Pistons the year before the Bulls played the Lakers, so they made it in 90 and 92. Portland had a squad.
They did.
And on the take on Luka, I mean, you done broke that down so many times. I don't know what else you got to tell somebody. You know, I mean, and he's a good player, but like you said, the league is built around styles, and they're trying to promote people with the style they want to see. And one of the things I was thinking when Russ was getting all those triple doubles, I don't remember him getting past being 6 in the league. I mean, you can help me with that. Because remember, Russ got
his team ranking
3 years in a row. His ranking. Yeah, I don't remember him being past 6.
He was a 6 seed almost every time. And
yeah,
look,
I mean, but now
the same thing I'm saying about Luka and Jokic, I was saying about Westbrook when he was getting. I was screaming at the top of my lungs. Westbrook is not better than Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard is a better point guard. I kept telling everyone it. Like I had just started my podcast back then, and I can show you, I was on Westbrook very, very hard about them triple double. I was calling it out just like I'm calling out Luka. Calling it out, man. But go ahead.
No, but I want to say it, but they never, but in fairness to him, they never ranked him higher because he was getting them. But now that Joker and Luka getting them, now they can be 1 and 2, but they never. And when his MVP year, I don't think Harden's ever been higher than 5th. So, you know,
Now that's the difference with Harden. Harden had some number 2 seed, number 1 seeds one time. I think one time he was number 1 seed over the Warriors one time.
Right, you know, I'm saying they never ranked it. I'm saying they don't give him those rankings like they give the other players when they do that.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
and like I'm saying with Westbrook, he didn't get no higher ranking. But when these guys get triple doubles, now they're the best. But like I said, you never heard them saying West was the best, and he did it 3 years in a row. And I'm not glorified. I'm just saying how they ranking players who doing the same thing is kind of odd to me. Yeah. And then you know my last one, because you know I'm from Ohio, so I'm make this quick on this. Steph Curry, the best shooter ever.
You think so?
What makes Steph Curry the best shooter ever is, and if you listen to his contemporaries, they all say he is.
Okay.
A lot of your just your fans, they say, but if you listen to Kobe, different guys, and I'm gonna break down a couple things like the college did, because he broke down some stuff about the game. Steph will make one of the things that make him best shooter is that he can come off the right side, and this is what nobody can do what he can do as far as where he can shoot it from and how he does.
He can come off the right screen. He can come off the left screen and catch a shoot. He can shoot it in the corner. His averages from different places on the floor doesn't go down. Some of the guys you named, it's only maybe one or two spots they always shoot from. So that's one thing. And then he can shoot from the dribble, off the dribble, on defense, double team, and that's what, and I think calling him the best shooter ever is kind of not giving him the full credit, because Steph Curry, it's some clips where Kobe's bullying him. He shoot a three right in his face.
Yeah, he does. But you know what? His dad was just as good as a shooter, and everything you just named, his dad was like that as well. And so was Ray Allen. Yeah. But this is the difference between Ray Allen and Steph Curry and their shooting, right? Ray Allen was 6'5", and he also not only had, because Steph Curry's quick release and the fact that he don't have to elevate high to, he don't have to jump high to get his shot off, and it's a quick release. That's what made his 3-point so dangerous. But you don't shoot mid-range like that. Like, not barely jumping is not a good shot for mid-range, especially because you're going to be shooting them contested most of the time. So his mid-range,
yeah, I mean, no, it's not his
mid-range,
right.
Yeah, he need to be wide open for his mid-range. So his mid-range is not as good as Ray Allen. So we're talking about 3-point shoot. We're talking about greatest shooter of all time. It's not just threes. It's mid-range. It's free throws as well. I'm giving it to Ray Allen. I might give it to Reggie Miller over Steph.
Well, I would say this. I've seen all three of them. I've seen I think a younger Ray Allen, because I think Ray Allen, I seen him when he was with the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
So that was before, of course, Seattle. And then I seen Reggie. Oh God, I seen Reggie. He wasn't young, but it was around the time, because Ray Allen left the Bucks in 03. He was there from 97, 03.
Mm-hmm.
And I seen Steph 7 years ago. I seen him the last year that KD was there, when they had Cousins. And I'm telling you, Cousins was a beast too. Like I said, they didn't, the big man is not respected, but when I watched Cousins play, I seen him against Indiana, he was tearing them up. But like I said, one of the things about with him is that, like I said, the different ways he can shoot it off the dribble or with the dribble that nobody else can do. I mean, a lot of these guys you're talking about, they were just catch shooters. He can shoot it coming off the left screen. He can shoot it coming off the right screen. His percentage doesn't go down. And I'm gonna make this last point.
That's Ray Allen, brother. That's Ray Allen. And look, I got that from. Listen, I got that from Ben Gordon as well.
No, but no, not.
I got that from Eddie Johnson.
Yeah, but
I definitely got that from Mark Price.
Right, but I'm saying look it up, their percentages and where they can do it from.
Listen, we just had a conversation about percentages, because percentages say that Larry Bird is not in the conversation. Do you think Larry Bird is not in the conversation for one of the greatest shooters? Like when you start,
he's in the conversation.
Right. So, but when you start talking about percentages, I'm saying
his percentage on all. It's. Let me say this, because it's a lot of, when coming off shooting from different places, it's a lot of elements.
Ohio, let me say this.
Okay.
I'm giving you two options. You choose which one you want. All right. You have to shoot 50%. Do you want 10 shots or 2 shots to get your 50%? Like, you win $1 million if you can get 50%. Do you want to take 10 shots or 2?
So if I had to shoot 50%, go over 10 shots or 2 shots.
If I said, hey, you have to shoot 50% to win $1 million, but you got an option. Do you want to take 2 shots to get your 50%, or do you want to take 10?
2 shots.
You want to take 2. So that means you can only miss 1 shot, and you got to make that. So if you miss your first shot, you got to make the second one. You want that one. You want that option.
Yeah.
So you think it's easier to shoot 50% with 2 shots than it is with 10?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. I bid you good night.
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying is that what I'm pointing out, not the volume of shots, because that could be debated. But what I'm saying is the number of ways he can shoot the ball is where, if you listen to his contemporaries, they talk about how he can do it more ways than anybody else.
Not Mark Price do it probably the same, if not more.
No, man.
Yes,
look
he does.
it up.
Yes,
listen to some of the guys. I'm saying the way
Mark Price,
they can't. They can't. No. They, like his
Bird,
dad.
Eddie Johnson.
His dad was a catch and shooter. They were more spot up shooters.
Curry.
Steph can shoot off. He coming off those screens, and it's only just like what did Isaiah?
I'm gonna go on a limb and say this. I'm gonna go on a limb and say not only is Mark Price a better 3-point shooter and a better shooter than Steph Curry, Mark Price is a better player than Steph Curry. He played in a tougher era.
I agree.
Right? And he was the same player in a tougher era.
But he didn't shoot off the dribble though.
Yes, he did. He shot everywhere.
He didn't shoot where Kobe Bryant is. And you know what? I mean, I can respect anybody's opinion on who they think is better. I'm just saying. I'm just giving my point of what I know and what I see in basketball. And like I said, I mean, the dude shoots from the tunnel. The dude shoots it from in the stands. Mark Price, nobody want to do it. And in my last point, you said the free throws. He's the greatest free throw shooter.
Lord,
so he's 40, 50, 90.
Craig
so
Hodges.
that means he had,
Craig Hodges.
But from the tunnel?
Craig Hodges is a better shooter than Steph Curry too.
But I'm saying when I agree with the eras where you can't really make a player who's in a softer era better than a player in a harder era. But when you see something they're doing that the player is not doing, though, that's my thing. If I see something a player in this era is doing that the other player never did, then that's when I think you take it in consideration. Now, a lot of players are just doing the same thing. They're just doing it at a higher volume, like what the guy said with Bird having less 3-pointers than Draymond. Well, you can of course that Draymond's a better shooter, but
no, you think Draymond? You said Draymond's a better shooter than Bird?
No, that's what I just said. I said no. That's not no. That was my point. Is that he's shooting? I'm saying he's shooting more of them, and I'm saying that of course Bird is a better shooter. And you know, because Draymond gets more attention how the game is, and plus they're leaving Draymond open. He's getting them attention for a reason. Correct. But like I said, the guy, what you said, he's the greatest free throw shooter ever, right? And you just mentioned that. That's your true percentage at the free throw line. You mentioned that yourself.
Yeah,
he's the greatest free throw shooter ever.
Okay,
and he shoots it like I said. If you ever watched before the game, he shoots it from the tunnel. Now, that's what I'm saying. When you see people do stuff that the guy didn't do. Now, if you just want to get in the circle and say, well, he can do this off the dribble, that could be a debate. But when you see a guy shooting from the tunnel before every game,
that's out of bounds, sir. That's out of bounds, sir. I can't even factor that into a basketball game. Shooting from the tunnel is out of bounds.
But I'm saying it's out of bounds. It's just how great of a shooter he is.
Yeah, but that's out of bounds, though.
But he can shoot. But I'm saying his range is that far. He can shoot from half court.
Yeah, but that's out of bounds.
It may be out of bounds. He shoots from the balcony.
Listen, I'm not gonna factor in something that's against the rules to make my case. I can't say, all right, man, he's the greatest dribbler. Have you seen him dribble with 2 hands? That's a double dribble, sir. That doesn't make you a better dribbler than me. You're outside the rules.
Okay, now come on, man. That ain't no comparison.
It is a comparison. You just said he can shoot from the tunnel from out of bounds. How can I use that?
You got some great points, man. But
how
that
can I use
one
that?
of them.
It's just like, oh man,
come on,
man, he can shoot from the dinner table. Well, I mean, we're never going to use that in the game.
You can't do this. Okay, man. Dribble with 2 hands is against the rule. I'm saying the guy can shoot from the tunnel.
And shooting from the tunnel is against the rules as well.
You my cat. You my cat, man. That's as far as that.
No one's practicing shooting from the tunnel because you're never going to use it in the game. Why am I practicing horse shot? We're not playing. So you saying he's a great horse player?
That's just how great of a shooter he is.
No. You're saying he's a great horse player. No one's playing horse in the game, shitmate. That's just like saying, oh man, he's a better ball handler because he can spin the ball on his middle finger like the whole Harlem Globetrotters. Sir, that's against the rule. You're never going to use it in the game. What are you spinning the ball? Like, why am I grading you on how you can spin the ball? Did you see Curly Neer dribbling in a circle while he was on the ground? You're never going to do that in the game, shit, man.
That's not a good example, man.
That's the exact. That's what you just said. You said he can shoot. You said he can shoot from the tunnel. Why do I care? He can shoot from the tunnel.
But that he's shooting the ball. He's not.
Well, guess what? Okay, well, guess what? Did you see when Steve Nash passed the ball off his head on the dunk contest to Stoudemire like a soccer guy? That makes him a greater passer than Magic Johnson because Magic can't pass off his head. You see how silly that sounds?
It's the totality that I gave you a totality of what he can do, though. I've been giving you one example.
Your only example is he can shoot from the tunnel. Who cares?
No, I said he could shoot. Okay, listen to the pros who know what
Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan never missed.
He can come off left screen.
Michael Jordan never missed.
Right screen.
Ben Gordon
he can
never
shoot
missed
from the corner.
Listen, Ben Gordon never missed a 3-point barefoot. Is that useless, or is that part of the debate? Like, who the heck cares about the tunnel, bro? That's what I'm trying to get through your skull. It's the tunnel. Who cares about the tunnel? Who's shooting from the tunnel?
That's the totality, dude. That's the totality of his talent. That's not my only example.
Spell totality.
That is the totality of what he could do.
Spell totality.
And what I'm saying, what my point was, when a guy can do something that other guys you never seen them do,
no one wants to do that.
You can grade them in a different era.
That's the point. No one wants to do that. Just because you practice, no one wants to shoot from the tunnel because you don't use it in the game. Just because you can do that don't make you a better shooter than me.
No, what I'm saying,
I don't want to do it. That's just like hold on. That's just like listen. No. That's just like when people say, "Oh man, LeBron won a championship on 3 separate teams." What superstar want to be on 3 separate teams?
That ain't the same example though.
It is the same example. You're doing something that no one else wants to do, and you're trying to grade that and say that makes them better than someone. Just because you can shoot, no one. Now, if everyone was trying to shoot from the tunnel and nobody could do it but Steph, then that'd be great. But if Steph is the only one practicing tunnel shots, why the hell do I care about a tunnel shot?
Okay, well let me say this. He started shooting from the half court line, and everybody started trying to do that.
Nope, I haven't seen nobody doing it in the game. I haven't seen nobody run a play for a half court shot yet. Those are heaves.
I've seen him shoot from half court in the game.
In desperation, shipmate. Nobody cares.
No, I think pull up him a few years ago against Detroit. He shot from the mark.
You know what we call that?
He shot for almost half court in the Olympics.
You know what we call that? Bad basketball. If the best shot you can get is from half court, go sit down. Have several seats. In the 90s and early 2000s, we would sit a player down like that. Because your best shot that you can get is a shot that we usually take with 1 second left on the clock in a half court heave before halftime. A real coach don't want that shot.
He don't heave it. He shoots it.
And that's why he had to get Kevin Durant to come and help him get rings, because he plays a lot of bad basketball. He's careless with the ball. He's careless with the ball. He don't have a good handle on the ball. He turns it over a lot. He just lollygags with it.
I agree. I agree. He turns it over a lot. I'm not going to cap for the guy. But he didn't need Kevin Durant to get a ring.
A physical defense showed that he had a slip on under his jersey.
No.
Yes, he did.
No.
He choked up a 3-1 lead. He can't eat daggone cornbread without getting choked. He choked up a 3-1 lead because they got physical and defense in Cleveland, and he lost. And he went and got Kevin Durant. Was like, please help me to get these 2 more rings.
He didn't need Kevin Durant. He made the 4 finals without him. How many did Kevin make without him?
No, he didn't.
He didn't make the 4 without him.
No, he didn't.
Count him.
No, he didn't. How many finals has he been to?
6. He made 4 of them without him.
He ain't been in no 6 shit, mate.
He been in 6, man. He was the first 2, and then he made it 3 more when Durant was there. Then he just won the 1 and 22. Kevin Durant was only a part of 2 of them. Kevin Durant didn't make it halfway through the playoffs.
Kevin Durant was part of 3 of them, shipmate.
No, Kevin Durant went out in the semifinals in the last one.
And he came and played 1 game. Really, the only game that really won.
He made it without him. He went through Houston without him when it was 2-2. He finished off Houston, and then he beat.
He went through Houston without him. Oh, he got through 1 round. Jordan Poole got 2-2. Jordan Poole got through a round without Steph Curry 3 years ago. Come on, we're rewarding people for getting through a round. Jalen Brunson got through a round with Dallas without Luka. Are we rewarding people for getting through a round? Really? Y'all just giving away accolades. Y'all giving away accolades, man.
We reward them for building a dynasty. That's what we reward them for.
The dynasty was over. The dynasty was over when he choked that 3-1 lead. Kevin Durant came to save the dynasty.
No, that's talking point.
The dynasty was over. This is coming from Draymond Green's own lips. He said we were done because you know what was about to happen? They wasn't going to re-sign a lot of those dudes after they lost that championship. They was about to break the team up. The first person out of there was Harrison Barnes.
Okay. Well, okay. You give
listen, man. Listen. Steph is not gonna let you hit. You don't have to come here to put on a cape and try to save this dude. Call a spade a spade. It's okay. You can call a spade a spade. Kevin Durant saved the dynasty. It was about to break it up. He got to a finals. He played a Cavs team that didn't have no Kevin Love, and then Kyrie Irving got hurt in the first game, and they won. The next year they got to the finals, and guess what happened? The Cavs was healthy, and they choked the 3-1 lead. They realized they was never going to beat a healthy Cavs team again. They also realized that James Harden and Houston was coming on strong, and they realized that Kevin Durant and OKC was coming on strong. If Kevin Durant would have stayed with OKC and got one more helper or stayed the same, I'm pretty sure they beat the Warriors the next year. The Spurs with Kawhi Leonard was strong. So the Houston Rockets, the Spurs, and Kevin Durant and OKC, they were going to eclipse Golden State. Golden State was breaking that squad up. Draymond Green would have been gone or Clay would have been gone. Kevin Durant had an option. He could have stayed with OKC or he could have went and joined Harden in Houston. Harden almost beat the Warriors by himself with KD. What you think they would have done if KD would have joined Houston? That's how fidgety that timeline was with the Warriors. It was based on what Kevin Durant was going to do. If he would have stayed with OKC and came back strong and beat the Warriors, great possibility. Or he could have went and joined the Spurs with Kawhi, or he could have went and joined Houston with Harden, and then the Warriors are done that way. It was over. It was over.
State Ward jersey on.
But I appreciate the phone call. You do this every time you call my show. You do this every time you call my show, man. You come in and you cap for Steph Curry.
You cap for Steph Curry. But I be spitting facts, man. I'm spitting facts. Everything I told you was a fact. It wasn't hypothetical. He came to a place where he know he could win. And he came and he got on Golden State's bus. Okay. So when you on my bus, that means you are on my team. He's on Steph's team. Okay. And one of the reasons why he got so much liberty in the first year is because he was only signing 1-year contracts. Did you know that?
Are you finished? I'm about to move on to the next topic.
I'm just saying he was, and I don't take nothing away from what he did, but he was. I'm not taking nothing away from his play, but one thing they had to cater to him because he was only signing for 1 year. That's why he. And then remember his second year, he had to opt in.
Let me know when you're done.
I mean, we always had this conversation.
And you always get cooked.
You always get cooked, but I enjoy the show, man. But you know I'm right. You know I'm right, and I'll catch you next time.
All right, brother. Thank you, man. Thanks for the call.
All right, man.
All right. There you go. That man love him some Steph, boy. You better not say nothing about my king. Caller from Texas, what's up? You the last caller on this topic. What's up?
I'm chilling now, having a good night, man. Hold on. So at Mark Price's peak, at his highest level of efficiency, I know he was a 40, 50, 90 guy, whatever.
Yep.
But at his highest peak, whatever age he was in whatever era, you telling me that Curry was nowhere on his level at all?
I think they're identical players.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think they're identical players. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go watch some Mark Price.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to check him out because as we were talking, I just Googled some shit and they said he kind of revolutionized the screen when he split the screen. So I may got to do some more stuff on that cat.
Splitting the screen. Like Jordan was good at it. Wade was good at it. Kyrie's good at it. Mark Price invented that thing. Mark Price was one of the first 50-40-90s. I want to say before him, it was probably only Bird. Mark Price did it Reggie Miller did it. Steve Nash did it. Like I think Steve Nash did it like 3 times. But Mark Price was the original 50-40-90. What stopped Mark Price was them knee injuries, right? He had knee injuries and he was a shell of himself after so many surgeries. And but remember these Cavs teams. You remember the game winner that Jordan had to hit over the Cavs over Craig Elo? This is a team that had Ron Harper on it, Craig Elo, Brad Daugherty, Hot Rod Williams, Gerald Wilkins. Like this team was stacked, and guess who the best player on that team was? The leader of that team was Mark Price, the sole All-Star. I want to say Hot Rod Williams might have made 1 All-Star, maybe Brad Daugherty made 1, but Mark Price was the perennial All-Star that led that squad against a Bulls team and Michael Jordan. Mark Price was the man.
Okay, I'm gonna check him out, man. I'm gonna check him out.
Yeah, Mark Price.
And I got another question, man, before you jump to the next topic. Man, I'll be sitting there listening to the shows, and I'll be, it's I know some things subjective and some things are very objective too. But I know back in the day they was putting their hands on people to kind of like help guard them, right? Like, is that really to you? Is that really defense? Like, I know moving your feet, keeping your hands wide, and ripping the ball, but if I got my hand on your waist and I can make you go left or right, that ain't really no damn defense, man.
Well,
what you think about that, man?
Well, I think it is. Let me ask you this though. When a cornerback guards a receiver and he puts his hands on them within those first 5 yards, is that real? Is that real defense?
Yeah, I would say unless the rules say you can't quote unquote jam somebody and be aggressive. But after that, get your hands off me and move your goddamn feet.
Exactly. It's kind of similar to that because the reason why they restrict it to the first 5 yards is because what that does is because the receiver got the whole field at his disposal and the defender don't know what the receiver is going to do. Right. So it'll be unguardable to try to guard someone if you couldn't put your hands on them momentarily. So they allow you as a corner to put your hands on them within the first 5 yards because that helps me kind of like get a feel for what's going on and not allow you to just smoke me right off the line, which is the kind of same thing with basketball. When the dribbler is trying to drive, you can put your hand on them a little bit, but once they get all the way to the paint, they're not going to let you put your hand on them while they're trying to attempt a shot. You ain't gonna get away with that. But on the dribble, I can impede you a little bit. Now, what the offense is supposed to do with that is if I know you can put your hand on me, I'm not going to dribble 1,000 times like Harden does. I'm going to move the ball and I'm going to play the game the way it's supposed to be played. I'm going to pass. I'm going to utilize the post. I'm going to utilize off-ball screens, all these other little wrinkles to the game that I got to use because you're allowing physical defense. But when you take away physical defense, I can play however the hell I want to. Just like the Globetrotters and freaking playground basketball, I can just come up and curly kneel you and dribble, and now I got the ball for 20 seconds out of the 24 shot clock. That's crazy work.
Yeah.
Defense fixes all of that. Physical defense fixes all of that. All of that goes away when you say, I can put my hand on you, and you go either have 11 turnovers or you go start playing real basketball. That's what happened.
Yeah. I need to watch some more games because, I know nowadays when folks start to put their hands on them, the offensive player, he'll kind of slap their hand off of them. So I need to go back and really analyze some of them games and try to see was the offensive player dribbling with one hand and then the offhand was trying to slap their hand off their waist, or they just allowed them to just – because, I know you be saying things like, different eras. Everybody talks about different eras. But I'd be like, man, I wonder when LeBron got angry at that type of stuff and try to overcome that hand check and got real aggressive. I wonder if Curry would have, if Stockton or, like you said, your boy Mark Price would have been trying to put hands on him. I wonder if he'd have took that challenge and try to overcome it by, working out, getting stronger and, trying to, I try to think about it sometimes. I know people say, oh, man, they wouldn't be doing that back in the 90s and the 80s. And I'd be like, yeah, but I wonder would they –
No, you're right.
They had folded.
No, you're right. Steph Curry and LeBron James and Wade and KD dudes like that, they built different. They just, they just in a different era. So yeah, they would have adjusted to it and they still would have been Hall of Fame players. The only difference would have been is the style of play they played. I don't think that Steph would have played the way he plays now. He would have played more like Mark Price. So and his numbers would have looked different. He probably would have been a 16 and 10 guy, right? He would have, like Nash, like if you put Nash in this league right now, and you tell, like, he was a 50, 40, 90 guy as well. Imagine giving Nash 10 threes a game.
Man, I don't know. I mean, because I know Jordan. I mean, even though he was in the triangle and stuff like that, but I know he had the green light to kill. And I feel like if Curry was on a different organization, had the green light to kill.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Nobody was going to give a point guard.
Facts.
Like I said, it would have been just like Mark Price. Like everyone coached like that. Like everyone coached where, okay, you're a point guard. Okay, well, this is what point guards do. We throw down low in the post of 7-footers. Like if Kyrie wanted a good running, I mean, if Steph wanted a good running mate back then, it probably would have been a big man. So imagine him on a team with Garnett or Tim Duncan or Shaq or David Robinson or Rich Smits, right? He would have been on one of those squads, right? You think Patrick Ewing don't want that ball in the post?
That's true. So my question is it really fair to kind of compare the eras? Because like when I say things, you say, well, back in the day, the point guards couldn't do that. So it's kind of hard to really say it because,
Well, not really, because you can easily say which era was the hardest era.
Oh, for sure.
And so the player that played in the hardest era had the most opposition trying to stop them from what they was doing. So it's easy to say you can take the player from the hardest era and put him in the easier era, and at the very least, he got the same number. So if I average 25 in the 90s, I can average 25 now. But it's more likely I'll probably average 30. Because I'm coming from a stronger era. But if I average 25 in this era and I go to the harder era, then we kind of got to like, can he get 25? We don't know.
Yeah, I think, of course, I don't be a rider, but I'm pretty sure Jordan could have played in the era because he played defense too.
45.
He really
45.
He really cared. Go ahead.
45.
You said how much?
45.
I can't even
45.
I can't even disagree because that dude was skilled mentally and competitive as hell. Yeah. And he played defense. He played defense. But as far as like Clyde Drexler and like
35.
These cats, I mean
Allen Houston, 30.
Allen Houston, 30?
30. Allen Houston's better than Devin Booker. 30.
I need to see what he did in his ISO ball. Was he a catch and screen guy? Was he ISO? I need to check him out, man.
Allen Houston had
pretty well in them.
Allen Houston had everything in his game. Allen Houston went in the post like Jordan and Kobe. Work. And I'm not talking about just turn around fade away, because when you see KD go in the post, it's the fade away every single time. When you see Kobe, Jordan, Allen Houston go in the post, or Carmelo Anthony go in the post, it can be bully ball to the rim. It can be up and under like Tim Duncan. It can be fade away like Jordan and Kobe. He had footwork. So Allen Houston gave you work in the post. But guess what else Allen Houston did? Allen Houston ran off screens like Reggie Miller, catch and shoot. And guess what else he did? If you give him the ball, he could ISO you and get something off the dribble. He played point guard when he first got to Detroit. He was on the squad with Grant Hill. Imagine Grant Hill at the 2, Stackhouse at the 3, Allen Houston at the 1.
Damn.
They had that.
Yeah. When I think of Allen, I think of the Knicks. I got to do my research. I ain't know the cat played for Pistons, man. I got to do my Googles, man.
Allen Houston was cold and played point guard for the Pistons, bro. Go check him out in Tennessee when he was at Tennessee. Cold.
I guess the young Bucks is always going to really just. I guess they're going to fall back on. Well, what do you do? He got any rings? He got any MVPs? I guess they always going to fall back on that shit, man. Not to debunk the argument, but they always going to fall back on. Well, Curry got he got this, he got that, and this and that, and this guy got this and that, and this and that, and this and that. So
I can guarantee you, if Allen Houston was in this era, he would find his rightful place as the GOAT.
Sure.
As the GOAT. He would be the best player in this league right now.
Ooh,
He would be looking like Kobe. Like he's there's nobody in the league better than Allen Houston except probably KD, LeBron.
Damn. How tall was he? Was he like 6'7"?
He was 6'6".
Shit, okay.
I would say I say KD, Kyrie, LeBron, Curry, SGA. That's 5. Embiid, Jokic. That's 7.
Mm-hmm.
So Allen Houston would be a top 8 player. He'll be a top 10 player. He'll be number 8 for me. There's nobody. The names I named are the only ones better than him.
Yeah, that's legit. That's legit, man.
He even better than Anthony Edwards too. He's better than Anthony Edwards.
I can see that, man. I got to do my stuff, man. Check out his bag, but when I think about Allen Houston, I definitely think of just scorer, shooter, just getting the job done, man. So if he got that much confidence in him, I'm gonna check him out. But for you to say he, got a better bag or get to it better than Anthony, I can give more to that because Anthony be playing around. If Anthony was not Anthony, but if Allen wasn't playing around when it came down to the offensive side, then
bro,
I can roll with that.
Hey, go do your research and then shoot me a text.
I got you, man. I got you. I appreciate it, man. Good show, though.
All right, no doubt.
All
right, last topic. Yeah, Ant-Man is not better than Allen Houston. I'm sorry. SGA is though. I might put Tatum. I'll put Tatum there too. I'll put Tatum over Allen Houston. So Allen Houston will probably be number 9 for me. But all these other people that we call superstars, Ant-Man, Luka, Ja Morant, man, who all these names, man? Man, I don't even think, bro. Allen Houston, hey, it's only about 3 or 4 guards better than Allen Houston, man. Currently, right now, and as far as point guards, right now, I take Steph, Kyrie, SGA. That's the 3, and I can take a point guard like Nick Van Exel from the 90s, and Nick Van Exel is better than everyone in this era except Steph, Kyrie, SGA. Nick Van Exel is better than Dame Lillard. He's better than Ja Morant. Who else played point guard? He's better than who else played point guard? De'Aaron Fox. And I like De'Aaron Fox. He's my 4th. De'Aaron Fox is my 4th best point guard in the league. After Steph, Kyrie, and SGA, I'm going De'Aaron Fox. And then my 5, I'll probably go with Dame Lillard, maybe. But Nick Van Exel, he's a top 5. If he's in the league now, he's top 5, right? So Nick Van Exel at the 1, Allen Houston at the 2. For a 3 guard, if I take somebody out of the 90s, as a small forward, I probably could go Big Dog Glenn Robinson. But he wasn't much on defense, but he was a good rebounder, real good scorer. So I don't know if I want to go Mashburn or Glenn Robinson. But let's say I go Glenn Robinson, and for small forwards, I can put KD, Tatum. I can probably put probably only 3 or 4 people over Glenn Robinson. And then power forward and center, I mean, it's Embiid in the conversation. I wouldn't even put, like, if I'm taking centers, Jokic ain't even top 5. If I'm taking centers from the 90s, it's David Robinson, it's Hakeem, it's Shaq. It's Ewing. That's 4. All of these dudes are better than Jokic. Yao Ming better than Jokic. A healthy Arvydas Sabonis is better than Jokic. Right? So it's some guys in front of him. And then I think Embiid is probably better than Jokic as well. Jokic falls down mightily for centers, and then power forwards. I mean, there's just too many of them from the 90s. Garnett, Duncan, Rasheed, Barkley, Karl Malone, McDice. Lord have mercy. Draymond couldn't do nothing with McDice. These power forwards is playing power forward now. Like Draymond at power forward. Freaking Jaren Jackson Jr. at power forward. Who else they got at power forward? Just name some squads. Julius Randle, power forward. Like these dudes ain't got nothing for the Barkleys and the Garnetts and the Tim Duncans and the Rasheed Wallaces and the McDices. Absolutely nothing. LaFonso Ellis is a better power forward than most of the power forwards is in this league now. I mean, Joe Smith is a super max player in this league right now as a power forward. The O'Bannon brothers, I mean, he might have made it in this era. If O'Bannon was just born too early. O'Bannon would have came in this league and just destroyed it. But I digress. Derek Coleman, Derek Coleman as well. Derek Coleman. Weber. Why how I forget Weber? See Webb, yeah. It ain't a power forward. It ain't a power forward in the league now that I'm taking over any top 10 power forward in the 90s. None. Absolutely none. Before I get to this next topic, I ain't get to none of these super chats, man. So I apologize. George, the Truth Hurts, $5 super chats. Tell LeBron the NFL said N-word. Please check the ratings. Thanks for the super sticker. Blame. $9 and $10 super chat from Brian C. Please get DC Slim off the line. He just show up for shock value statements and always have trash takes. No better than Gilbert Arenas. He ruins the show quality every time he calls. John Wayne, thank you, caller. Bronzexuals have turned Pippen into a top 10 all-time player when he used to be on the back of the milk cartons doing them play. Oh, Jermaine O'Neal, yeah, for sure, man. I might not even get to this last topic, man. I'm already over 3 hours. As a matter of fact, forget the last topic. I'm already extended my time. So what I would do instead of getting to the last topic, I just come back live again tomorrow with 4 new topics, including that last one. Because there's some more stuff that I need to talk about. And I need to talk about the games as well. Like Denver just got clapped by the Cavs. That needs to be talked about. My MVP race needs to be talked about. So I'm going to open the phone lines up and let y'all get in really quick one more time before I end it. Caller from Ohio, what's good?
What up, Mel?
What's up? Who this?
It's Isaiah Ray Sean, man.
Cody Brown, what's good, brother? Sean Kemp.
Cody Brown in the motherfucking house.
What's good, man? What's your thoughts? You got 30 seconds.
30? Man, I was just taking about Reggie Miller is one of the greatest shooters ever. Put that first.
Okay.
And I was, listening to the show. You all was just talking about who you just talking about defense, dude? All right, I want to talk about Isaac Carolina way better than fucking Luka Doncic.
Who better than Luka?
Isaac Carolina.
You think so?
I would have gave that man the ball.
I'm gonna give Luka the nod over Andre Canluka. Canluka was a great defender.
Really, Mel?
Yeah,
really,
I'm giving it to Luka, man.
Really, you smoking, Mel? you need to be drug tested. Hey, happy New Year to everybody in the chat. Everybody, salute to the show, all y'all. Hey, Mel, I tried to catch you before you left, though. And then, hold on, Mel. You were talking about, before you were talking about the last dude you were just talking about. Damn, because I had to cut it. You got to cut it off.
Yeah.
To get on the phone.
Yeah.
So I had to cut it off.
Yeah. Well, the last dude I was talking about, I think I said Jermaine O'Neal, maybe.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah. Okay, I want to say Jermaine O'Neal, Antonio McDice.
Yep.
Hell yeah, they better power forwards than these niggas is that play in the NBA now.
That's a fact.
Man, who defender from Denver? What's his name? Jokic?
Yeah.
That dude is a joke. Anybody, Mel, anybody can average a triple double, Mel.
They call him the Joker.
Anybody average triple double, man. Andre Carlingo used to average a quadruple double, man. It's all about effort, hustle,
and
passion,
design. It's
hard
about
work and loving the game, man.
It's about design. If your team designs for you to get all the assists, you're gonna have a good chance of getting a triple double. If you're also the team,
of course. But when you got players that fucking gonna put the effort in to go out there and do it, like Tony Allen, players like that actually like dogs, man. Who was talking about? You heard Jeff D gonna say Kyrie Irving is the best scorer of all time. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard him say that.
Hey, what you smoking? Snoop Dogg crack?
I don't know, man. He just like talking, I guess.
Man.
Yeah.
Listen, man. Listen. I know how to play basketball. I know how to play sports, period. When it comes to any sports, it's all about being in the right position and making the right decision. You agree with that, Mel?
Say it again.
When you play sports, it's all about being in the right position and making the right decision.
That's part of it.
Right. And girls who play sports have more successful, have better chance of being more successful in life than girls who don't. You know that, right?
No, I didn't know that.
That's why sports key to go. Because she's playing sports.
There you go.
Anyway, I just had to bring her up. Anyway, go ahead, Mel.
Yeah.
No, you play sports too, right? You said.
Yeah, I did.
Now, when we come to shooting 3-pointers, you know who Tim Lager is?
Do I know what?
Tim Lager.
Yeah, I know Tim Lager.
He led the league in 3-pointer shots and like what?
3-point
era of Michael Jordan.
3-point percentage. I think he was a high
percentage
shooter.
Yeah. But remember you was having a topic about clutch shots?
I think so.
And you were saying like clutch shots can be any shot during the game. It's a clutch shot.
Of course, yeah.
And the dude was saying like,
a clutch shot could be in the third quarter, second quarter, first quarter. Like, you know, if you're hitting a crucial shot to stop a run or something like that, that could be clutch. Or entire game.
And I agree with you that.
Yeah.
Now another thing I want to address, this nigga JJ Redick want to talk about nigga who you would pick, JJ Redick or Larry Bird?
Larry Bird, of course.
Okay, now I'm gonna ask you who you picking. It was Larry Bird and somebody else. I want to ask you who you pick, but I know that answer to the question would be Larry Bird.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, hey, that nigga, my nigga, I gotta shout out to my nigga that argue with you all the time. What's his name again? Young Disciple.
It's a lot of them.
Hey, yeah. I got to shout out my nigga Young Disciple, man. Hey, I love when you call the show, man.
All right, you got 10 seconds.
10 seconds?
Yeah.
All right, I'm coming for everybody on the panel because I lost my whole life playing sports and watching sports and being a beat reporter. If I knew that shit, I would took my ass to fucking school.
Facts.
Hey, Mel, thanks for even answering my call, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. I got you, man. Thank you.
Love the show, man.
I appreciate
that.
Yep.
Who the best show in the world? Man Down Sports.
That's my dog. That's what I'm talking about. Appreciate it.
Cootie Brown in the house.
All right, brother. All right, we'll get one more call. Nino Jackson, what's up? $10 super chat. Rasheed Wallace could be better than Duncan. Talk about it. Rasheed Wallace had everything you needed as a power forward on both ends of the floor. He had all of it. Here's what he didn't have. Rasheed Wallace had normal size hands for a big guy. He didn't have like those Kawhi Leonard hands. That's one thing. If you notice Rasheed Wallace, he used to catch stuff off the rim. He was a big time dunker, but I always wonder why sometimes he would catch stuff off the rim. Sometimes he'll miss dunks. I mean, how is he doing it? And I found out Rasheed didn't have huge hands, right? So that's one thing. And then the other thing he didn't have when he was in Portland, where he was obviously the number one for that team. They went to him for points. They had Scottie Pippen. They had Steve Smith. They had Detlef Schrempf. They had Damon Stoudemire, Greg Anthony coming off the bench. They had Dale Davis. They had Bonzi Wells. That was a great squad. That was the squad that I rooted for. I hated Kobe and the Lakers. I was rooting for Boston. I mean, not Boston, but Portland. So I know a lot about that team. I watched all of their games, right? Rasheed Wallace was unreal when he wanted to be a unreal scorer. Like he was just as good as Duncan, right? If not better. But this is what Rasheed Wallace also was. He was very unselfish. Very unselfish. And he understand the concept of team basketball, and so did Tim Duncan. That's why they didn't have huge numbers. Like everyone say Tim Duncan is the best power forward of all time, but that's because he showed us how good he was early, and then he bought into the team concept, and then he won 5 rings. Right? So it's easy for us to say, yeah, he's the best. But if he didn't win 5 rings, I don't think we would say that, because when you look at his numbers, they look very pedestrian. So we don't prop Duncan up for his numbers. We prop him up for how good we know he was, and he actually won. Where Rasheed was just like that. He wasn't going for his numbers. He wanted to win. He just didn't win. Right? But when you study him play, you realize, I'm not even going to say just power forward. I don't even think there's a center or power forward that's better than Rasheed Wallace in this era right now. Not even Giannis. Rasheed Wallace would be the best player in this league right now. Allen Houston would be close. Like, I mean, it just is what it is. The 90s just made better players, tougher players. They did, man. So, yeah, Rasheed, you're right. Rasheed was like that. He was like that. Caller from Missouri, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Mel? Yeah, I still got my Missouri phone, man, even though I'm living on the West Coast now.
What's poppin'?
Man, you got some interesting topics tonight, and I'd say on a Luka, I'm in the sports group. I'm an admin for a couple of them, but this one I put in there, all the things I put in there, about the conversations that you guys are having, and a lot of content creators are having about what's hurting the NBA, and defense being one of them. And man, these dudes, it's like only thing they could harp on was the 3-point shot, which I said, yeah, that's a part of it. Taking too many threes is a part of it, but the way Adam Silver has constructed the NBA, where it punishes the defense, and it just the whole thing has changed, and they wouldn't even acknowledge that, man. It's like, what kind of fairy tale you guys are living in? Like, if they just stop, in other words, if they just stop shooting a bunch of threes, everything will be okay. I'm like, are you guys kidding me? It's effort, it's threes, it's the way games are being called, it's the way games are being refed. You could keep going on, and then the All-Star game is a joke now.
Yeah,
and I'm like, you guys can't see all this. I don't know, man. And then I also brought up Luka Doncic. I pulled a picture up. I said, this fat boy is leading the league. He's the face of the league right now. This fat boy that don't play defense. Now I said, now, in what era would he be rocking out like this? You think he'd be rocking out in the 80s and 90s? Yeah. Because Charles Barkley, he didn't play defense. I said, man, get out of here. I said, Charles had, when he went to Phoenix or whatever, he kind of got lazy and whatever. But I'm not saying, excuse me, when he went to Houston. But by then, he was getting along with it too. But if Charles wanted to play defense, Charles could play defense. Let's just put it that
Charles
way.
did play defense. First of all, Charles was 6'5". All right, so let's get that straight. Playing power forward. Right. Second of all, I've never, like, Charles Barkley played in the era where power forwards were plentiful. Right. We just named some of them. Right. You got Oakley, you got Rodman, you got Larry Johnson, you got Barkley, you got Karl Malone, you got Moses Malone, you got Garnett came through, Duncan, Rasheed, Dirk. Like, the 90s to early 2000s had power forwards out the yin yang. So every night you was guarding a all-star level power forward. Right. I've never seen Charles Barkley tell another guy to guard his position. Like, you can't be the baddest power forward in the land, and then you come and face another bad power forward like Karl Malone, and you say, I don't want to foul out, so I'm going to make Oliver Miller guard Karl Malone while I go guard somebody in the corner. That's what Luka does. Luka's supposed to be the point guard, and he can't guard point guards. He has to get another guy to start at shooting guard that's actually a point guard, so he can guard point guards for him. Like, notice every shooting guard he's had has been a real point guard. Brunson, Dennis Smith Jr., Trey Burke, Kemba Walker, Kyrie Irving, or even when Dinwiddie was there. He's not a true point guard, but he started with Luka. Whoever starts at shooting guard for Dallas is really the point guard on defense because Luka can't guard point guards.
Hey, but before you move past Kyrie, if we didn't know any better, if we didn't watch basketball and you just turned on and started listening to all this and watching Maverick, you would be convinced that Luka's better than Kyrie. Now, who in their right mind think Luka's better than Kyrie?
All these new school young YNs. I don't think so.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so bro, that dude, I know people keep jumping back and forth, but I wanted to call it. I wish you guys had like a StreamYard where we could all jump on. When that dude was on earlier talking about Jordan had a super team when he got Rodman, man, I spit out my water. I don't know what I was drinking at the time.
Y'all want to jump? Y'all want me to make a stream tomorrow? Everybody can jump on. Hey, put a one in the chat if y'all want to jump on the stream tomorrow, and I'll let y'all just duke it out.
If he's getting on there, I want to get on there with him because he sounds like he's in his 50s at least. He's too damn old. Pardon the French. He's too damn old to be talking so stupid and so crazy and not to know any better because he don't watch. Now it sounds to me when he was talking about he was a Laker fan, it sounds to me like he was such a Laker fan that he hated Jordan. And so it's more hate than it is anything else. You know what I'm saying?
No, he's just his personality type is he got to go against the crowd. You know, so and I know people like that, you know, and it's just in their nature to not go with the crowd, and they just don't like, you know.
Talking about what do you call? I forgot the word. On it.
Contrarian.
Contrarian. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
That's him by nature, and his problem is really that why the hell? Because when he first called my show, he called the show agreeing that Michael Jordan was the greatest. Right.
Oh my God.
But he's been part of the show for 5 months, and then he disappeared and he just came back tonight.
I can't take him serious. If he does that, Bill, I don't even want to waste my time. I can't take him serious.
So look, this is the thing though. He don't like Jordan getting glazed to the point where he's a godlike figure. He hates what sounds like Jordan worship. So he has to bring Jordan off his pedestal. But if we ever agree to take Jordan off his pedestal, guess what he gonna start doing? He gonna start
putting him back on there.
Exactly.
But you know, it's wild because now I know Lakers fans from, you know, old school. Let's go old school Lakers fans, old school Celtics fans. They'll tell you they hate the Celtics, they hate the Lakers, but they would never tell you. No old school Laker fan will ever tell you that Bird can't hoop, or Bird was a bum, or Bird was a janitor, or whatever dumb nonsense that JJ Redick come up with, and vice versa. No old school Celtic fan would tell you that Magic Johnson was a bum, or Magic Johnson was just, you know, whatever. I don't know where these. That's why I was saying anybody that's from our era that actually watch these games and come out here talking reckless. It's something going on with them, man. And you can like LeBron. You know, I like LeBron for certain things, but I don't even put him in the GOAT conversation. You know, he you know, you can put him in the conversations for his contemporaries and compare him to, you know, Steph and KD and you know, everybody he played against. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
but when it comes to Jordan and Magic and all those players from that era, man, no, he ain't in that conversation, bro. I'm sorry.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna show you where I got it listed at. So here's my pyramid, and I what I like to call deck stackers. Right? I can't measure your accomplishments as far as rings if you stack the deck to get them, because you made it easy to get them. So LeBron is the highest deck stacker I have on my pyramid at tier 4, right? Dwayne Wade is a deck stacker. Steph Curry is a deck stacker. Kevin Durant is a deck stacker. LeBron James is a deck stacker. Shaquille O'Neal is a deck stacker. All right. I penalized them on my all-time list for stacking the deck. I would like to see how many rings you could get without stacking the deck. And when LeBron, if LeBron didn't stack the deck, his career would probably look more like Dirk's, where he got to the finals, a couple of times and probably won once, which is what Jokic and Giannis' career is going to be. Barkley got there once, didn't win it. Malone got there twice, didn't win it. Those guys are supposed, on a level that's not Jordan, Kareem, Bird, Magic, Kobe. You get what I'm saying? They're not up there.
Right.
But we can't easily see that they're not up there because they did stack the decks and they were able to get four rings in Curry's case and 4 rings in LeBron's case. They're not supposed to have those 4 rings. They're supposed to have what Dirk has, 1 ring.
Right, because even the 73 and 9, I'm biased 72 because I'm a Bulls fan. I'm keeping 100. 72 and 10 and 73 and 9, and them dudes was dancing and talk about how they got their record. Man, it don't mean a thing if you ain't got that ring.
It don't.
And so
how the heck you lose 9 games in the regular season and lose 10 in the playoffs?
That is crazy. And then you lose to LeBron. And I'm not saying LeBron had bums. He didn't have no bums. But you had them down 3-1 and you choked. Come on, bro.
What's more impressive? What's more impressive? 73 and 9, and then losing. Well, they lost 3. They went down 3-1 to OKC. They lost 4 in the finals of Cleveland, so that's 7 losses. And I can't remember what they lost in the first, second rounds, but I'm pretty sure they lost a couple of games as well. So they lost about 10 games in the playoffs. So they lost 10 games in the playoffs, 9 games in the regular season. That's 19 games they lost. Is that more impressive than what the Lakers did when they won about 60 games and then went 12-1 in the playoffs? They went undefeated and lost 1 game in the finals to Iverson, and then gentleman sweep. They lost 1 game in the playoffs. That's more impressive than me. Yeah, that 12-1 record more impressive for sure.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say no, that ain't more impressive. And and to go back to the 72 and 10 team, they banged heads in the 96. I mean, they took out Orlando. MJ was waiting on to get Orlando back, because of what Orlando had knocked MJ and them out in 95 when he came back to the NBA. So MJ was licking his chops waiting on Orlando.
Of course.
They swept them guys out of the playoffs. I forgot who they played in the next round. In the first round and the second round. But yeah, so that 72 and 10 team, and then they beat the Sonics in 6. They really could have beat them in 5, to be honest with you, if they weren't messing around, but that is what it is. The point is that you got a dog like Jordan, and you got champions that take winning serious. They ain't trying to stack the backs, but they really take winning serious. Man, them dudes go for the throat, man. And so I grew, I'm in my 50s. I grew up watching Dr. J, Magic, Bird, all of them. I became a Bulls fan when they drafted Jordan. I'm just keeping it 100. I was following Jordan when he was in North Carolina. But Dominique, I saw all those players, all those great players, man. The All-Star game was great. Everything was great about the NBA in the 80s and 90s, man. Look where we are now, bro.
Everything
This is sad, man. But yeah, if that dude come back on tomorrow, man, I might be tempted to get it.
Hey, yeah, I'm gonna go live again tomorrow. I'm only go talk for a little bit, and then I'm gonna just open the panel up, man, and let y'all duke it out. I give y'all about 30 minutes, man. I just want to see what happened. I mean, because I just want to see how it's gonna go. To be honest with you, I'm gonna give y'all about 30 minutes, man. So we'll see how it go.
Yeah, I know he gonna get mad and talk over everybody because there ain't no way in the world he could defend that nonsense he was talking.
He said,
all right, bro. Thanks, man.
All right, no doubt, bro. Yep. Caller from Illinois. Caller from Illinois.
What's going on, baby?
What's popping?
The steady service. You know I love you. You know
Who's this?
What's going on, baby? Steady serving ENT. This brother Claude.
Brother Claude.
Yeah, Dominique's guy.
Oh, what's going on, bro, Claude? You from Simply Ball Dropping.
Simply Ball Dropping.
What's good, brother? How you doing?
Hey man, you know I love you, man. I appreciate you.
No doubt, man. This is your first time calling, man. How you know?
I tried to get through the other last 2 times, but you know always, I drop in on you.
Okay, no doubt. I didn't even know you watched the show, brother. I appreciate that.
Man, what is you? Come on, man. Listen, you are very, very good. You're very special on your podcast. I appreciate what you're doing. You make so much sense. You talk intelligently. You're not emotional. You're very, very good. I'm an emotional guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm here in Chicago.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? I'm in the home of Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
I'm in the house that Jordan built. So you asking somebody, about something that he couldn't even relate to, that guy that was talking that madness.
Right.
I was able to see both of those guys in the playground. I was able to see Michael Jordan on the beach before they banned him and stopped him from playing ball on the west side of Chicago.
Right.
They had to put in Mike's contract because he was, he was really competing. He loved to play with the guys in Chicago. That's on record. That's fact. I just called to tell you that guy that you had on there, he was very emotional. It sounded like, Michael Jordan might have took his girl or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But your eyes, when a person play with eyes, the eye test, that's the realest thing that you can ever get from any type of performance.
Yep.
And if you look intelligently with the game of respect, we all know who was the greatest player, the way he looked, the way he competed, the way he performed, the way he achieved. He was saying that Michael Jordan had a stacked team. That was a lie. He's the OG. I'm 55, dog, so I know. You know what I'm saying? I know.
Yeah.
So the thing is that the Bulls was built organically. I'm a solid Bulls fan. I could tell you about Reggie Diaz. I could tell you about David Greenwood. You get what I'm saying? I could tell you about Orlando Woodridge. I could tell you about, all of the players that was there, before Artis Gilmore and all of them. I was able to go to the gym because I was playing ball, right? And I was in the Isaiah camp in grammar school because I come from his grammar school, Resurrection Grammar School, he graduated from. So, Isaiah had us in the camp. 2 things we used to focus on: handles, quick hands, and defense. I could sit there and just watch this guy. He was like a god to us, especially me. I come from K-Town, where he's from. So I could tell you some things that I really know. I'm from the neighborhood of Skip Dillard. A lot of people don't know who Skip Dillard is. But Skip Dillard played on the team with DePaul, with Mark Aguirre, Daryl Comity. You got what I'm saying? And all those great ones. You feel what I'm saying? Over there on DePaul Blue Demons. You feel me? So I was able to see Terry Cummings. I was able to see Tim Hardaway organically in the playground. You know what I mean? Arthur A.G. is my first cousin, And if you ain't a hooper, if you ain't saw Hoop Dream. That was me in the apartment when the party was going on. That's my first cousin.
How's he doing? How's he doing?
He's doing real good, man.
Good.
He's doing good. You know, he got he's on Instagram and Facebook. You know, he'll make your own, you know what I mean, your own jersey and your own shorts.
Okay.
And particularly on the way you want it to do. So he does, you know what I mean? He does a lot of things. Of course, when Tusk come home, you heard what I called him, right? Tusk. You know, they call him Zeke. But
you about to go make me watch that again, man.
Hey man, I love you. I'm in there when they was dancing on the second floor. That's me. I'm the big cut. Yeah. So the thing is that when you look at players and you watch them compete, nobody can take Bill Russell off of the table. The man was a player and a coach. Lenny Wilkins was the second to him when it comes to that time. Do you know how hard it is to be the coach of a team and a player of the team and be what they would say and be honest and be thorough and also win a championship? Do you understand how hard that is for Bill Russell to pull that type of thing off? You know, that was a hard feat to have 11 championships. Sure, it wasn't that many teams. It's a comparison of how the WNBA is right now. You know what I mean? With the women's basketball league. You feel me?
Yeah.
It wasn't that many teams were growing. And of course, Bill Russell was a dominant force in that. Wilt Chamberlain, of course, he was a phenomenon. Nobody saw Wilt Chamberlain. They never saw him before. 100 points in a game. They never saw that before. And if they was counting block shots and the rebounds, oh my God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is I was able to see Dr. Julius Erving play. You feel what I'm saying? For real.
Yeah.
And win championships. They try to, you know what I mean? He got one in the NBA combined with the ABA, but Doc was already a 2-time champion in the ABA.
Yeah, for sure.
You feel what I'm saying?
And people leave his name. He was just on Shaq's podcast talking about,
and
man,
then
people keep forgetting about him.
He would be still above LeBron if they brought his points over.
Sheesh.
Right now.
That's crazy.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So don't, you know what I mean? Don't let that type of person get it twisted. He's emotionally tied to what he's saying. And no, LeBron James, no, I wouldn't say that he could not compete in those eras. But I do agree that in each era, they had their greatest phenomenon. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Oscar Robertson in the 70s, he held the 70s down. You feel what I'm saying? Almost single-handed. You feel me?
Yeah.
So when it came to the 80s, Madge them came in, you know, and changed everything. You know what I'm saying? And Bird, they changed everything, man, to the point where the same thing that's going on with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark this year, it was the same way, but they just didn't have as much coverage. It would be like a one-sided, and then Sports Illustrated wasn't even a thing yet. I don't think the Sports Illustrated, I think I got my first Sports Illustrated in 1984. I think 83, 84. But you know, I'm one of those fans of the game, but I'm also a player of the game, and I'm also a truth teller. Michael Jordan has not been duplicated outside of Kobe Bean Bryant. Michael Jordan, let's be real. Michael Jordan has not been duplicated outside of Kobe Bean Bryant. He's the only one that is actually a duplicate single. But a person of my eyes, Scottie Pippen was one of the baddest organic players to come in from a junior college and organically be a superstar among a megastar. And a megastar made Scottie Pippen a superstar, him and Horace Grant, in their activity. I've seen it organically. You dig what I'm saying? I've been to hoops. You know what I mean? I've been on the sideline as a child when Michael Jordan broke his foot. You know what I'm saying? I was one of the kids that was running up to his car and the door kind of slammed on Mike Cass, and he looked up at me. It was like, wait a minute. They pushed me. I'm sorry, Mike. I probably said, oh, it's okay. It's all right. I was 13 years old, brother. I can remember that like yesterday. So I'm a real witness bearer. Can't make this up. I got Michael Cooper's autograph and Magic Johnson's autograph by Michael Jordan. Guess what he drove in his rookie and sophomore year? He drove a tan Lexus. That's right. It was a Lexus car. He drove a Lexus. You see what I'm saying? People can't bear witness with that type of thing.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
Feel me?
Yeah.
They can't. I'm not emotionally tired. I seen him give him the business on the playground. You see what I'm saying? I seen Isaiah come. They were friends. I seen Mike and Isaiah together on the court. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Mike was saying sometime when he first got here, back and forth with Isaiah's older brother. You feel me? So I seen all of that. You know what I mean? When you talk about transfer and generational talent, Michael Jordan is more than a generational talent. Michael Jordan is a navigator of what the NBA is supposed to be. And if they get back to the real basis of what Magic, Bird,
they might be able to save the league if they do that, but they're not.
If they go back to Magic, you got to start at Mag.
Yeah,
you got to start at Larry. You
they're
got
not
to
gonna
start
do it.
with.
They're not gonna be able to do it, bro. They're not gonna be able to do it.
With Isaiah. I'm with you. I'm crying right. Somebody crying in heaven, dog, right now. You know what I'm saying? They're crying in heaven right now. You know what I mean? All the players that then suffered for this game and made $2.50. They crying in heaven the way the game it look like right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's people like that, brother, that put LeBron James and said that Michael Jordan had a super team. No, he did not. That team was built from when Michael came to the Bulls, coke addict.
Yeah, so when people say, bro, Clark, when people say that, they don't know what they don't have a definition of a super team. Like, any team that perform well, they go call it a super team. It's just they don't have a definition of it. They don't even know what it means. So anybody can have a super team just based on their feelings, right? So it's kind of you can't have that debate with someone that will call a Jordan-led team a super team just because he had. I mean, it's unreal to say that Dennis Rodman created a super team with the Bulls. That's unreal to me, man. But look, I got to end this live. I ain't never done no 4-hour live.
Man, hey, look, I just love you, man. I thank you for giving. You know what I mean? Giving history. I'm known for that.
Yeah,
I appreciate you, man.
No doubt.
I love you. Listen, I love your. Listen, I love everything what you do on your show, the way you handle yourself, young man. And I'm proud of you. You keep doing it, man. You influence me and encourage me over here on Steady Serving ENT. Come check me out. You know what I mean?
What's it
Some
called
of y'all,
again?
man, y'all keep following my man.
What's it
because
called?
he's giving it to you raw.
Oh, you got a channel, bro, Clark?
I'm sorry?
You said you got a channel?
Yeah, Steady Serving ENT.
Hold on. You said Stay Serving?
Steady, STEDY. Serving, SERVEN. ENT.
Okay. All right, bet.
You know what I mean? I'm kind of funny with mine. He wouldn't have made it. Yeah, he wouldn't have made it.
Hey, I'm about to go over there and sub.
Hey, I love you, man. He got somebody crying in heaven for his soliloquy of what he just did. He got somebody crying in heaven, dog.
Yeah.
Have a good night. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy Kwanzaa. And I love you, brother.
All right, no doubt, man. Same.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Hey, y'all go get my brother over there, Steady Serving ENT, a sub over there, man. Let's go over there and support him, man. I'm gonna go over there and see what he talking about. Definitely sub, and I'm definitely go over there and watch his stuff, man, and give him some support. We all get started somewhere. So, hey, I appreciate y'all sticking out with me this long, man. Should I take this last call, y'all? It's got to be quick. Hey, I'm wrapping it up, Georgia. This one got to be really quick, man. Go ahead.
Hand down, man down. What's going on?
What's poppin'? Who's this?
This is Leroy, man. LS
What's
in
up,
the
brother?
chat.
What's up, brother? What's your thoughts?
Man. I just wanted to get into it with you right quick about what you said about Curry. I mean, I see why you said, but Durant went to his team, and Curry got all his rings in one place.
Okay, what that mean?
So that's got to count for something, and he's showing out against
it don't count
who they want us to believe.
Hold on, it don't count for nothing when you're trying to determine who the better player is. Right?
What you mean?
Like so when you're trying to determine who the better player is, that's just film work. That's all film work. If I want to know who the better player is, it's all film work. If I want to know who has the greater career or the greater storyline or the greatest resume, then I might talk about who got their rings in one place, who created a dynasty. But they don't tell me who the better player is. It's obviously that Kevin Durant is a better player than Steph Curry. That's obvious. Like
I mean, he got different tools, man. He's 7 foot, but Durant.
So he that makes him. I don't. You giving me the reason why he's a better player. I'm just making a statement that he's a better player. Like that's obvious. That's not even a debate. Steph Curry is a better player.
Yeah, okay.
Kevin Durant is a better player than Steph Curry.
I mean, Durant got 8 inches on Curry, and he's doing different things. But Durant had to go there to get his back to back. The same way LeBron went to Miami.
Only thing that gives you is bragging rights for your storyline and your resume. They don't give you the title of the best player.
Oh, okay. So is Durant better than LeBron?
Yes, he's a better player.
Okay.
Than LeBron. Yeah.
I mean that's being consistent, and I'm not saying that to take away from like either one of their careers as a whole. I'm just saying as far as how you got them ranked. I just wouldn't do it because
now
ranking
is different. Now ranking is different. Ranking is different. Yeah. I got LeBron ranked higher than KD, but he's not a better player. Yeah, but he's not a. I just showed you my pyramid.
Yeah. I mean, the reason I say really is how. I mean, I wouldn't put LeBron above Durant because Durant has a more solid game. He can go inside and outside, and being at his height.
Yeah, but those are two different. Those are two different things. Like if I'm grading the player, and it's all film work, Kevin Durant's the better player. Yeah. If I'm ranking them based on the totality of how good they are plus their resume, LeBron's resume is obviously better than Kevin Durant's. But
oh man!
But we know LeBron's resume is also manufactured as well.
And that's why I can't move him up.
But he did though. It's almost like if we go for a job interview and we're going based on who has the better credentials, and you have the college degree, but your girlfriend took the classes for you. You didn't take that one test. Your girlfriend did all of your classes online. I can't argue that on paper you actually got the degree. It's in your name. I can criticize how you got the degree. Right? So LeBron has the resume. How he got it is cheap, but he has the resume. So when you're grading the players on paper, you have to grade his paperwork. And he has the 4 rings. He has the most of the MVPs and all of that stuff. So he has the better resume than Kevin Durant. So he ranks higher when you rank their paperwork.
Yeah. Hey, can we take your analogy and apply it to the Balco investigation and how we're supposed to believe that Savannah was using roids? I mean, not roids. We'll just say chemicals.
That's funny.
No, but check it out though. So, I mean, I get what you're saying, but along with it being manufactured, I think what makes it look worse is, especially for the people who want to, claim that he's better than Jordan. Jordan did more in 15 years, and really it's like, 13? Because he was injured twice.
Yep.
than this dude that did in 22.
That's
Well,
true.
you can't say more in 22, but if you cut the time off for LeBron at 15 years to match Jordan, it's not going to be the same.
No, it's not.
You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be the same. And he still hasn't gotten defensive player of the year ever. Yeah. I mean, there are stats that he hasn't even touched. Because they've just completely screwed the game. Like the last caller said, the 80s and the 90s were great.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't even have to do all these things like change the color of the floor, come up with the chump cup. That's what I call the in-season tournament to get people to watch.
Correct.
It was driven by the players and what they did on the floor.
Yep.
But I would still move Curry up more because even at his height, I mean, you can't deny, and no one to me can deny that he doesn't put more work into his game than LeBron puts into his.
Yeah. I mean, well, I always say this about LeBron. He's a fake and a fraud and a part-time broad. So that's how I end that, man. He went to Diddy parties. He probably got a lot of Diddy orders in his house. And he said ain't no party like a Diddy party. So we already know what it's about, man. But I take that comment out the air. Hey, look, I'm gonna end it. Y'all trying to get me at 4 hours, man, and I'm trying to end it before 4 hours because 4 hours means I have no life. I tried to do a 2-hour live today. I gave y'all almost 4 hours, and I have to end it before 4 hours, or I'm gonna be so upset with myself, man. So I got 5 minutes to end it. I gotta end it.
It's all good. I'm gonna jump on that stream, y'all, tomorrow.
All right, bet. Sounds good. I see y'all there.
For sure.
All right, bet. Thanks for the call, man. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for joining me, man. Don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't done it already. That helps out a whole lot, man. So make sure you hit the like button. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for all my members and my moderators being in here. I see my cousin. I'm with my brother-in-law in here, man. What's up, V? Yeah. So thanks for all of that, man. I catch y'all. We'll probably get on here again tomorrow. And then I'll probably see y'all again. Y'all probably see me probably next week early, right? So we got a lot to talk about, man. But I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.